Franchitti. Oh! Sorry, Dario.
I'm gonna have to pass a lot of cars here, aren't I? You will indeed.
And Will Power is going to win his first career event on an oval in the Eyes on IndyCar Series.
So happy. It's just a great race. Very fun, good day, all up.
For the second race, it was just a lottery. You know, we got hosed tonight, so I hope we don't lose the championship by that many points, because I'll be picked off.
Hold your breath for a typically Texan welcome to the wildest ride in town. We're live for the Firestone 550 at Texas Motor Speedway. Almost everyone has a different opinion about Texas, and emotions are running high as it's a track that resembles the disastrous Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But the 1.5-mile high-banked oval has given us some of the closest finishes in IndyCar history. And with the new DW12 in town, this could be quite a shootout. It's a track that can only be appreciated by those that have truly experienced the ride. Thomas Scheckter will give us his first-hand knowledge of the white-knuckle mile and a half, while Johnny Kane will bring us his oval racing experience to complete the driver's perspective tonight. But first, we look back to the challenging return of IndyCar to Belle Isle in Detroit and a remarkable double for Team Target Chip Ganassi.
Detroit City! Are you guys ready to have some fun? Drivers, start your engines!
Strap in. We're getting ready for 90 laps here. Oh, and a move by Franchitti, and it clipped his left front wing.
10-4, if you can carry on, that would be good.
Whoa, no trouble for James Hinchcliffe.
Man, the track just came up. They leave that big piece of track just sitting there, and look what happened.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. I've never seen anything quite like this.
So I'm a little concerned. It's not just one corner.
It's like playing Russian roulette, and I just pulled the bullet.
I don't know what their plan is to fix it or how they're going to fix it. I hope they do so we can put on a show for everybody.
We've had a great weekend. I hate to see this stop in the middle.
We have now been told they will run 15 laps to decide this race.
Let's pair them up.
Hang on. This could get
hang
interesting.
on.
Oh, and boy, Dixon really snookered Will Power, and Pagano took advantage and got underneath him. And there goes Elio around, and he has taken the front nose section off, so the rain has made the track slick enough, and there goes another car, Ed Carpenter, around.
Green, green, green.
Bouncing their way down through turn one. Dixon in front, and look at Dario Franchitti has shot up to second. From 6th to 2nd through the 2 restarts. Scott Dixon, for the 28th time in his career, is going to win here on Belle Isle in Detroit.
A dominant performance from flag to flag by Scott Dixon, and another imperious recovery from 14th on the grid for teammate Dario Franchitti. IndyCar rookie Simon Pagano was again on the podium. Series leader Will Power was 4th. Spain's Oriol Servia 5th, Tony Kanaan 6th, Ryan Hunter-Reay 7th, and Charlie Kimball making his 3rd 8th place finish in a row. Mike Conway and Alex Tagliani round out the top 10, and that shuffles the pack just a little. But not for Will Power. He stays top. Scott Dixon is up 2 to 2nd. Elio drops 1 to 3rd. Dario also gains a couple of spots, while James Hinchcliffe loses 2. Simon Pagano is up 1, Hunter-Reay down 2, Ryan Briscoe and Tony Kanaan are non-movers at 8 and 9, and Oriol Servia jumps 3 places and into the top 10. And you've got to say that at the end of the day, the boys at Belle Isle did a pretty good job in getting a race there. I mean, I think we all speculated here in the studio that there was no chance of that place being fit for racing, and yet they managed somehow to plaster all the cracks, Thomas. Remarkable.
Roger Penske. I think, you know, it's when anything's got to do with Roger, he does it right. And believe me, there was a lot of people running around as soon as that problem happened. And I'm sure he was on the phone making sure it got sorted out, and they finished the race off. Maybe not the full race, but they got 15 laps in.
Remarkable stuff from Scott Dixon as well, Johnny. He really was on the best of form all the way through the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't quite make up for missing out on the winning of Indy, but you know, a fantastic result again for Ganassi. 1-2, 2 weeks in a row, and just shows that they're on great form at the moment.
A double-double for Franchitti and Scott Dixon. This time round it was Scott Dixon's benefit, but Dario Franchitti started in 14th place on the grid on a couple of the restarts. Thomas, you've got to say that the Scotsman was in determined form. Look how far back he is here on this restart.
Yeah, and I think this is a case of always just choosing a lane which everybody else is not in. And everybody was diving to the inside, and he did it once, and I think he did it again, and you know, great move. It is a little bit ballsy to do on the outside with the marbles there, but it certainly paid off for him.
I mean, he did actually manage to position himself. I mean, how much of this is experience, Johnny, that just puts him in the right place?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of it is experience. You know, he's prepared to be on the outside, but he also knows that Scott's going to stop the car and everybody behind him is going to have to check up as well. And he just stuck around the outside both times, made up 2 places, and fantastic moves, yeah. It
might be Penske's track, but it was Ganassi's day.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ganassi 1-2 at Indy, Ganassi again at Belle Isle, and certainly there's a lot of momentum in the team right now.
Indeed. Well, Texas is high on the list of closest ever IndyCar finishes, and the drama comes thick and fast on the high banking of the 1.5 mile Coliseum. As the sun goes down, the heat turns up.
The crowd, all 70,000 of them on their feet.
Whoa! We got a car over in the wall.
Oh! We got a slight fire. One of the crew members is on fire. Oh, a car in the wall, and that is Scheckter. And we have a crash. Holy smokes.
Look at Scheckter. Boy, he's dodged a few bullets here today, hasn't he?
Oh, it was contact. Whoa, he throws his gloves at Marcos.
He just swerved into me on the front straight because he's irritated.
Contact. Hard contact.
Oh, look at that split. Wow.
And Elio is not happy with
and they both speak Portuguese.
I was going to say, they can understand each other.
Sorry, Dario.
I can't even use that word. Yeah, to make it a lottery in a championship race, to start position as lottery. Surely this is the racing is about skill.
Well, the lottery's been sorted. We don't have one anymore at Texas. It's a straight 550 again, back to the old-fashioned 550. There was quite a lot of the Scheckter show there, really, wasn't there? I mean, I have to say, your stats, when I started looking them up for Texas, I mean, you were the man round there. 3 pole positions, more than anybody else. Involved in I don't know how many incidents. It's one of your favourite tracks, presumably.
Yeah, it was a good track. It's always exciting racing there, and it's nice racing at night, and it's also hot as well. So, but you know, I seem to have some good runs around there. I mean, I think I led 300 or 370 laps around there. Someone said on Twitter, but not enough wins. Only 1 win. So, but looking forward to a good race this evening.
So hot you have to throw your gloves off very quickly by the look of that. I thought Marco was your friend.
It's my head being hot. But yeah, you know, we fought a lot, and Marco's a funny character in the car, and he normally waves at people to tell them to get behind him, but I didn't appreciate that time when he swerved in front of me on the front straight. And it's actually funny, after I won the race, I got a huge cheer, but I got more of a cheer when I threw my gloves at him that race. So it was a crowd favourite move right there.
Throwing gloves at Marco. I mean, we were in for I mean, we just saw from those clips that this is no place to mess around with. Texas is a serious racetrack.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's going to be, you know, just as exciting this year. The cars have less horsepower, but they're still running the same average speeds. so a lot less downforce. The cars are definitely a lot more tricky to drive this year. And you know, that's going to play into some people's hands. All the good drivers wanted it this way, but I think maybe they'll live to regret that later on tonight.
Drivers never know what they really want. Well, there's been plenty of talk and a few major tests that the all-new Dallara IndyCar has faced in 2012, named the DW12 after the late Dan Weldon. They continue to develop the car at each and every track. Here's Jon Beekhuis to tell us.
You have very wide side pods and a wide under tray that physically stops the wheels from interlocking, not what you had last year running on high-speed ovals or any tracks for that matter. But let's talk about what has changed specifically for here at Texas, and it's mostly aerodynamic. First, turning to the top of the side pod, a side pod top deck cover. Doesn't look like much. You may not run them here. That takes away downforce and adds quite a bit of drag. At the rear wheels themselves, you have these infills. These are actually very productive aerodynamic devices. You may not run these here like you could in Indianapolis. That's about 50 pounds of downforce and a lot of drag because the air now comes through those rear tires and turbulently comes out the back of the car. A huge change from a downforce standpoint, we talked about it a little bit at Indy, are these under tray side panels. They go right here. That allows the air to escape. That's about 250 or more pounds of downforce loss. And finally, yes, the rear wing. The rear wing angle we've mentioned is key to speed and to downforce. At Indianapolis, you could run minus 10.5 degrees. You can still run minus 10.5 degrees here, but you now cannot wind it up as much as you want for the race. The maximum you can run is minus 5. So what does this all add up to? These cars have 400 to 500 pounds less downforce than Indy to make up for the steep banking here at Texas. But look how sensitive these cars are. This little wicker was added just before the final practice. Will Power says just by adding this, it tips the car over between being a car you can drive flat out or one that you have to lift, showing these cars are ultra sensitive aerodynamically.
Well, the proof of the pudding is going to be in the driving of the car, of course, here at Texas. But the big question has got to be that all of these drivers, particularly Thomas, here at Texas, are driving a car that's completely different to the one they drove last time. It seems to change every single week. How does a driver cope with that?
A driver's a driver, and he drives to the limit of the car. And no matter what you put him in, he's going to find that limit somehow. And I think, you know, these different aero rules, I think the league's been very cooperative with the drivers in getting them something that works for them. And I think they've got a good package with putting that little bit of wicker back on, gives a little bit more grip, so you still get some good racing, hopefully still a little bit of side-by-side, but obviously not as close as Vegas.
24 IndyCar races around this racetrack at Texas. It's only really now that we're all focusing on it because of Las Vegas. It's a very similar racetrack to that, I think owned by the same people. And it's a place that has suddenly been deemed perhaps not quite so safe.
Yeah, well, it's not the circuit, it's the type of racing that made the circuit dangerous, really. Obviously, all these aero improvements and changes have been made to try and stop everybody running as a pack, so that if there is an accident, then there's not 10 cars taken out in one go. So I think the driver's going to be able to make more of a difference. Hopefully, won't all be running together, some close racing, but not a great big pack together.
So, after all the debates and shenanigans of aero downforce added to the normal trauma of setting new cars up for the tough Texan test, here's how it all shook out. Honda have locked out the first two rows. Tagliani beat off a three-way Ganassi attack. Franchitti being pipped by for pole position by 100th of a second. Row 2 is Graham Rahal and Scott Dixon, with Will Power and James Hinchcliffe on row 3. Tony Kanaan is now joined by Marco Andretti on row 4. Simon Pagenaud and Ryan Briscoe are row 5. Oriol Servia and Rubens Barrichello start on row 6. Ryan Hunter-Ray and EJ Vizo, row 7, and on row 8 it's a massively disappointed Helio Castroneves alongside Charlie Kimball. Justin Wilson qualified on row 9, but Mike Conway has arrived here after a 10-spot grid penalty. Ed Carpenter is joined on row 10 by another penalised driver, Takuma Sato. James Jakes welcomes Catherine Legg back on track on row 11. And at the back, Simona Di Silvestro, in the only Lotus left on track, has also copped a penalty but simply swapped places with JR Hildebrand on row 12, while Joseph Newgarden missed his qualifying slot and didn't set a time, and so starts stone last. One man certainly who can check out the grid for us more than any other is, of course, Robin Miller.
Hello, Mr. Sato. I'm sorry, we're on live television. Brother, you made a lot of fans at Indy. Your new nickname is Hero Man. How you going to do tonight?
Well, I think we're going to be the same things. I think we're going to be pushing all the way through, especially we have to start from the back of the grid because the engine changed. But we're looking really strong, so I'm confident.
You got a lot more fans than you started with, brother. You're doing good. All right, here we go. Randall Bernard. Are we going to be back here racing next year, brother? What do you think?
Well, we'll see after this race what we can do. We hope to be.
Are we going to go to China? If we don't go to China, will there be another race at the end of the year?
We will make that decision this next week, too.
Spoken like a CEO. I like that. All right, there's Anthony Joseph Foyt. I'm not talking to him. He's mad at me. Hell, most of these owners are mad at me. There's Castro Neves. Mr. Castro Neves. Hey, aren't you at ABC? Hello, son.
Hi.
Okay, you got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
You like the way your car feels?
I do.
Do you like the fact that you're going to be in more control than you were in these races before?
Well, I wouldn't say more control, but we're going to try.
Oh, you're a veteran. Of course you're going to be in more control.
Yeah, certainly we like that. So we are happy that everything is working out the way we asked for.
See, you should have driven a sprint car. You'd have liked this better. All right, here we go. Here we go. Who we got on this? Viso, come here, son. Now, this guy right here is talking about running a sprint car in a couple weeks in Bloomington. Tonight's going to be like a sprint car because you're going to be sideways, yes?
It's going to be the same, but in tarmac. It's going to be fun. A lot of new changes for this race, and you're going to watch a very fun race.
Are you going to tell your owner, Kevin Calco, when you go around in the dirt, you're going to go by a pseudo name when you race?
He likes to stay clean, and he's not going to get his shoes dirty. So
okay, kid, good luck. All right, I'm doing good. I haven't lost my... There's Ryan Hunter-Ray. Hello, young man.
What's up?
Well, we're trying to figure out, half the drivers like this new deal, half don't. What's your vote?
I'll tell you at the end of the night. Nobody's really done a full stint on tires yet, so everything feels nice, warm, and comfy at 25 laps, but at 50 laps it could be a whole different ballgame. Hopefully the Andretti cars are sorted out and we can move to the front. This could be fun, so we'll see.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. It could be fun. That means they're not really sure, but maybe. Now, who's up here? Where's your driver? Where's Barrichello? I don't know. I can't find anybody. All right, 45 seconds. We're running out of time. I'm running out of patience. Don't we have a driver here? Where's our boy Pagano? Where is he? Oh. Who's over here? Well, we did pretty good. Now the drivers are... Oh, there's Ryan Briscoe. Mr. Briscoe and your lovely wife, you've won this race before. What do you think about tonight?
It'll be interesting. It's a new ball game at this place with the downforce we're running, so we're going to have to look after tyres tonight, and it'll certainly look a lot different late in the stint than it will at the beginning.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks. RP, no hugging the women. This is live television, brother. We're going to have you take us to break again like you did at Mid-Ohio.
Well, we're excited about tonight, and good luck, and have a safe race, and you guys are doing a great job. Thanks.
See, it's my paycheck. Roger Penske, thanks for your time.
Only Robbie Miller can get away with that with Roger Penske, that's for sure. So the drivers are in the cars now. There's been a slight delay here, as we can see. The drivers haven't been under orders just yet, so we've got a little while to go before drivers start your engines. A slight worry as far as that grid walk was concerned for Robbie Miller when he asked about China. And we're going to make a decision later in the week, I seem to hear somebody say there, about whether they're going or not. Now, I have no idea whether that was specific, personal to one particular person he was talking to, or whether that was a slight leak on air live as to whether there is a possibility they won't be going to China. I'm sure the Twitter feed is certainly going to be going mad, that's for sure. So time then to cross to our colleagues at the track to take you through the race. It's going to be Bob Jenkins, Jon Beekhuis and Wally Dollenbach live from the Texas Motor Speedway.
Cars series in action on the high banks of Texas Motor Speedway. One of the famous Texan drivers about to give the command.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet your Grand Marshal. Racing out of Houston, Texas since the 1950s, he holds the IndyCar record for the most wins and the most national championships. He was also the first four-time winner of the Indianapolis 500, and as a car owner, he won at his home track, Texas Motor Speedway, in 1998. Now, with those most famous words in motorsports, please welcome racing legend A.J. Foyt.
Boys and girls, start your engines.
Command has been given.
I knew knew it wouldn't be the traditional drivers or ladies and gentlemen start your engines, but A.J. Foyt gets things underway here at this facility. All right, let's quickly go down to our pit reporters. First of all, here's Robin Miller.
Bobby, the Indy 500 was a great race because we had a lot of drivers coming from the back to the front. Hopefully that's what we're going to see tonight. This guy, Joseph Newgarden, was one of the fastest guys in practice all week. Guess what? He blew up, has to start last. He's going to try and go to the front, Townsend Bell.
I'm sure he is. I'm here with Helio Castroneves, guy to watch tonight. Did not have a great Indy 500. He's starting 15th. I told him, get high early. He said, I am, man. Watch out. So big things from him. Kevin.
Here's Alex Tagliani starting on the pole as he did last year. He said, my season started over when we got new Honda power after Brazil for Indianapolis. He's somebody to watch. Hasn't won since Elkhart Lake, Road America a few years ago. And Graham Rahal says it's time for us to get another win. He won the opener at St. Pete, his first race in this series. He might be the fastest car here. He's going to roll off third.
A mini pit walk there, huh, Kevin? Way to go. Well, don't miss a chance to get out on Honda's fastest seat in sports sweepstakes. Enter by logging on to shophonda.com. This week's lucky winner is Jeff Cox from Dayton, Ohio. By logging on to shophonda.com, Jeff won the opportunity to start today's race in the Izod two-seater driven by another racing legend, Mario Andretti. The cars are moving, and here is a starting grid. Alex Tagliani on the pole with Dario Franchitti alongside. Second row, Graham Rahal, his best start for 2012, and Scott Dixon, the winner last week. Will Power, who won his first oval track race here a year ago, fifth, and James Hinchcliffe is sixth. Seventh and eighth, Tony Kanaan and Marco Andretti. Simon Pagenaud will start on the inside of row number 5 alongside of Ryan Briscoe. Oriol Servia and Rubens Barrichello in 11th and 12th. And Ryan Hunter-Reay and E.J. Biso starts 13th and 14th. And as you can see, Rubens Barrichello's car has not started yet. We'll go through the rest of the starting grid and watch carefully to see if that car can get underway. There have been 17 different winners in 23 races here at Texas. Helio Castroneves is the only multiple winner in tonight's field. Farthest back, by the way, that a winner has ever started was 13th. That was in September of 1998 when John Paul Jr. won the race. Starting in 13th position tonight is Ryan Hunter-Reay. All right, we have 6 onboard cameras that will complement our coverage for you tonight. Here's the car from Charlie Kimball, the Novolog FlexPen onboard camera. He'll start 16th. Starting in 11th position with the Chevy onboard camera is Oriol Servia. Starting 9th is Simon Pagenaud in the HP sponsored onboard camera. Tony Kanaan will carry an onboard from 7th position. Dario Franchitti will start in 2nd position and has the Verizon onboard camera, and it wasn't working just a moment ago, but now J.R. Hildebrand's onboard camera is working in the National Guard sponsored car. He will start in the 23rd position. And the Honda two-seater is up to speed now, and Mario Andretti giving a thrill of a lifetime to Jeff Cox from Dayton, Ohio. And again, you can win by logging on to shophonda.com and get the opportunity to start today's race in the Izod two-seater driven by Mario Andretti. And let's get down to Townsend.
Yeah, Bob, Rubens Barrichello, the worst way to start an event. This is A.J. Foyt's nightmare. You got laptops out left, right, and center with all the Chevy guys trying to get this car fired. They're pulling all the bodywork off. It's clearly some sort of electronic issue. And apparently Simona did not start either.
So suddenly, instead of a 25 car field that we have about to take the green flag, it's down to 23. Simona De Silvestro in the only Lotus-powered car has not started, and neither has Rubens Barrichello. There's the onboard look from J.R. Hildebrand. Everybody getting lined up side by side. Alex Tagliani in the number 98 car from Brian Herta, Barracuda Racing, and Dario Franchitti flanking him to the right. 24 degrees of banking here at Texas Motor Speedway. the backstretch and the dog leg here on the front stretch banked at 5 degrees. The qualifying speed, well, above 212 miles an hour, but a nice formation here as the field is perfectly aligned coming off of corner number 4, and the green flag is waving. Here we go.
Still down there. Clear. After 38.
3 abreast racing there in the middle of the pack as they come off corner number 2 and onto the backstretch. Alex Tagliani has the lead down the backstretch into turn number 3. Tagliani followed by Dario Franchitti. Third position belongs to Scott Dixon, and then Graham Rahal and James Hinchcliffe battling for that 4th position.
Oh, Tony Kanaan, who we're on board with, just had to lift. Now watch the momentum. He should get just swallowed from behind. The moment you have to lift this early, it takes a long time to get that momentum back.
So he drops to 7th position because of the lift.
Comes Dixon.
Yeah, the battle up front. Scott Dixon has taken over 2nd position from his teammate. Dixon, with just an incredible performance at Belle Isle last Sunday, looks for 2 victories in a row this season.
Tommy, what I'm noticing already is there are some cars that can run near the white line. There are other cars that can't get anywhere near it.
Well, and it's also it's chassis dependent. Depending on how your car is handling, you can move around to mask certain characteristics.
Ryan Hunter-Reay has gained 3 positions here in the early going. He's in that yellow and white car on the top of the racetrack, up above Ryan Briscoe. Kevin.
Andretti Autosport is one of the few teams that did not test here, so they came in here blind. We were very limited in practice time, and look at Hunter-Reay trying to go to the high side. Great racing so far, and he's going to get around Ryan Briscoe for the spot. Hunter-Reay was guessing a little bit in practice, but he felt good in the night practice. Still cautiously optimistic, though, but he looks great so far.
Hunter-Reay moves up a position to 9th now, dropping Ryan Briscoe back to 10th position.
And Kanaan has regrouped from that big lift and is now knocking on the back door of James Hinchcliffe.
That would be for the 7th position. Meanwhile, Alex Tagliani from the pole continues to lead. And the advantage over Scott Dixon is about 0.2 of a second. The best battle on the racetrack continues to be Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Look at him go.
Yeah, up on the top side. And here's Takuma Sato with Ed Carpenter as they battle wheel to wheel. And that is for the 17th position.
And look at Mike Conway coming, red, white, and blue. That's, of course, A.J. Foyt's car. He's powering through it now. Teammates side by side. Well, Hunter-Reay definitely has got the setup for the start of this race.
He said it could be fun. It's looking fun so far for Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Battling for 7th position. Side by side all over the racetrack. Ed Carpenter now with an advantage on Takuma Sato, 17th and 18th on the right part of your screen. And here comes Carpenter up to battle Charlie Kimball. Meanwhile, Ryan Hunter-Reay has moved up yet another position.
Sato in your mirrors.
Getting around James Hinchcliffe, and now Ryan Hunter-Reay in 7th spot.
Now both these 2 drivers in the frame, although we go back to Sato now to watch this battle on board with Hildebrand, who is able to get to the underside of Sato, but look at the way the momentum changes. Now Sato's on the way back.
Coming outside, barely outside.
J.R. Hildebrand has moved up 5 spots from his starting position.
Outside, clear.
Remember, Hildebrand had that huge moment in qualifying. Big dial of opposite lock, put him way towards the back.
And we understand that Simona De Silvestro will not be able to start the race here tonight.
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah.
Talked to J.R. Hildebrand before the race, and he said, you know, I've had some big moments in Indy cars and I've hit the wall, but he said yesterday was amazing. He goes, I couldn't believe I didn't hit the wall. And whatever they figured out, he likes what he's doing right now because he's moving forward.
And here's another. Oh, look at the big wiggle by Franchitti again.
Wow.
Man.
And that highlights the part of the track that's given the drivers the most trouble when it's transitioning from entering the corners and when the banking flattens out coming off the corners is where the back end really wants to hop out. And you know, we're early in the race, but we could already be seeing some of the early effects of the tires starting to give up their edge.
Now look what happened a lap ago.
Wow.
you need fast hands for that.
Yeah, guys, that's not going to get any easier. There's a bump right there, but as these tires wear out, that's going to be a much, much bigger issue.
Alex Tagliani is leading his second race this season. He did lead 2 laps in this year's Indianapolis 500. Alex Tagliani, your leader, by just a few car lengths over Scott Dixon, as Rubens Barrichello's car also goes back to the garage area. Back in a moment.
Discover all your family favorites and more in high definition. Sky. Believe in better.
You sit, you win. You grit, you win. Edge closer, bit by bit, you win. You dream, you win. You scream, you win. Ball rolls onto the green, you win. You peep, you leap. Collapse on the floor in a heap, you win. Introducing the new Santander 2-year cash ISA, offering 4% AER with a bonus 0.1% if Rory McIlroy wins an eligible golf major. Win if he wins, and win if he doesn't.
Why is it paying less for your broadband and phone sometimes means you have to compromise on service? That's not the PlusNet way. With them, you pay a great price and get great service. That's why they've been recommended by Which. Again. Can you stop that? It's really distracting. And who drew that big dog? A great broadband service. PlusNet will do you proud.
If you're going to Ireland, let Irish Ferries take you there. And your car too. You're aboard for a good time, not a long time. So let the kids explore while you relax. Enjoy a meal in the restaurant. Or just a quick bite. Go on, you're on holiday. From just £79 one way for a car and driver on the biggest ferries on the Irish Sea. Book now at irishferries.com.
Other guys who are having problems include E.J. Viso, who has dropped back to 17th position.
Another big wiggle out of Dario. This is kind of like I was saying in Milwaukee. It was like clockwork. Certain cars 20 laps in would go big time loose and just drop like a rock.
Oh,
that's mid-corner. That's
not the banking. That's just the balance. That's completely gone off. Here's Hildebrand. This is coming off. This is what. Wow, that was a big save.
A double save.
Yeah, very similar to what happened in qualifying for.
Wow. And now Hildebrand has come up to challenge E.J. Viso. Charlie Kimball also in this shot. This is JR's on board. He's up to 18th.
To give you an idea how far the speeds are falling off, Tagliani, who's still out front, his last lap 9 miles an hour off of his quick, from 211 down to 202. And here comes
Dario is coming in. He has had enough of the bad handling. Meanwhile, a battle for the lead on the racetrack is Scott Dixon. On lap number 22, he takes the lead from Tagliani, and that's Graham Rahal right behind Tags.
Talk about the difference. You have Scott Dixon, teammates with Dario Franchitti. One's taking the lead while the other is going on the pit road with a car he can't drive. That is phenomenal.
Dario's in the pit. They're putting fuel, 4 tires, of course, and taking loads of front wing out. I've never seen a guy turn his hand so fast. So probably 4 turns of front wing out of this thing. Let's see if it's balanced now.
Wow. That was a lot. Remember, we did a feature on that at Indianapolis, that the threads are much more coarse on these front wing adjustments. So that is a huge change.
This is the battle for second place. Alex Tagliani in the 98 and Graham Rahal right behind him.
Now Dario has some tools on board to help him deal with this. They've got a weight jacker, which can jack quite a bit of weight across the right rear, left front diagonal, and 2 sway bars. So either they were not expecting it to go loose, and then their adjustment set up to go the other way, or he's out of adjustment already. Wow, look at that wiggle with Graham Rahal on the outside of tag.
Alex Tagliani's last lap, he dropped under 200 miles an hour. That shows you just what we're talking about, how much the car can go off.
Graham Rahal takes second.
For comparison, Dixon has fled the scene running last lap 205 miles an hour. So the car that seems to be able to, which is about, well, it's 6 miles an hour faster than second, but a full 3, 4, 5 quicker than the rest of the field.
Now here comes Will Power up to challenge Alex Tagliani.
Hey, Tommy, you were talking about controls earlier. I just walked up to Brian Herta, Tagliani's team owner, said, is he on the controls? He said, oh yeah, he's got a lot of push. These guys are working hard already.
Power still trying to make the move on Tagliani as they come off the fourth corner. Still not able to do so. We'll watch him down into turn 1. Meanwhile, watching the two up ahead of him is Marco Andretti running 5th.
And of course, Will Power on that higher groove. His car doesn't have the same amount of wiggle. Certainly that was a pretty big contrast between he and Tagliani. And now, just as you say, Marco Andretti takes advantage, follows Power through.
Tagliani drops to 5th position from the lead. He led the first 20 laps of this race, but now has dropped to 5th. Justin Wilson has moved up to 12th position, so he too has made some good moves here in the early going.
You saw the Sonny's barbecue car at the very early part of the race. He was the one that was way up on the top. He went 3-4 wide and picked up some positions by going really high on the racetrack.
Ryan Hunter-Reay, meanwhile, continues to move forward.
6 cars closing. 3 back.
He's running 8th currently.
Been notified that Briscoe is closing from behind in the 6th car.
Closing in. Back in tow.
And it's looking like that balance for Ryan Hunter-Reay is going away, because you can definitely get the visual picture there that Briscoe's car is maintaining a much higher rate right now. Ryan Hunter-Reay fighting it.
And all the people I talked to, they knew that the tires weren't going to be pristine for a full stint. The question is, depending on the setup, which end of the car you were leaning on harder.
Dario Franchitti had to pit on lap 20 and has dropped a lap down. Ryan Hunter-Reay and Ryan Briscoe continue to battle for position, and right behind them is Simon Pagenaud, the 3rd car back there. Pagenaud currently in 10th position. Scott Dixon leading by about 3 seconds. Make that 7/10 of a second over Graham Rahal.
Oh, just as our colleagues go to a break, you join us back here in the London studio. Charlie Kimball finds himself backwards on the grass, so we get our first caution of the day, and I'm amazed it's taken this long with some of the shapes that some of the drivers have been pulling out there. That's a nice position there from the marshal, straight on top, making sure that Charlie's okay. Thomas Scheckter here with me in the studio, as is Johnny Molam. Got to say that some of the action, these boys are having to work fairly hard, Thomas. It wasn't like that in your day, or maybe it was.
No, I mean, I suppose we used to get battle like that because we had no downforce, because we were in a big pack. But, you know, the guys that really worked on race setup and forgot about qualifying, I think those are the guys that are going to go to the front, and certainly Dixon looks like he's in a league of his own right now.
Johnny, I've got to say, Johnny Kane, that I'll get it right in the end. Scott Dixon out front, but teammate Dario Franchitti in all sorts of trouble with his identical car, you would think.
Well, that just shows you that they're not identical. I mean, you know, Dario is normally, you know, really on top of the job, and from very early on, struggling with the rear downforce, lost the rear almost completely 2 or 3 times, and you could see him immediately on the radio saying that he was in trouble. And you know, the fact that he had to stop so soon, lap 20, shows you know, really just how much he was in trouble.
Let's take a look at it because it's worth seeing how Dario regained control of his Ganassi car. I mean, that is massive oversteer for a driver in these circumstances.
Yeah, at that speed, you know, that amount of oversteer is huge. And this one by J.R. Hildebrand, I mean, that is a long slide. You're covering an awful lot of track at that.
In motorcycle terms, that's known as a tank slapper.
Yeah, that's about as close as you get, I think, on an oval before you're actually in the wall. It'd be good to see what happened, Kimball.
Scott Dixon's the man that leads. This is the man that's now retired. It's Charlie Kimball, our first caution of the day, and time to go back to our colleagues.
The wall, he's fine. Got out of the car very quickly after it came to a rest near pit entrance. The pits are currently closed. Let's take a look at what happened to Charlie.
First thing he said was, I got in his wash and it stepped out on me, was what he said on the radio. Thankfully, a glancing blow for him. As you said, he is okay. But again, when you're behind cars and you're also fighting one that you don't have a lot of grip, that aerodynamic wash could be a big deal.
A little bit loose already entering the corner. Right over the bump. Hands off the wheel.
Yeah, Tommy, I was talking to his strategist, and what happened was he was working Viso on the low side, kept working Viso. He moved up high, and he got clean air on that front wing, plus that bump, and that was enough to just turn him right around.
And Dario was right behind him.
And you mentioned Dario. Of course, Dario Franchitti has already made a pit stop, and if you have a caution after you make a pit stop, this is exactly what Dario Franchitti did not want, because you lose a lap when you pit. Now he most likely will not pit when everyone else does, and he's going to have to try and stay in front to get his lap back, and that'll be tough.
On worn tires.
Yes.
Charlie Kimball had finished 8th the last 3 races, including Indianapolis, where he led 3 laps, and he was running 20th when he crashed. Charlie Kimball is out of the race, as is Simona De Silvestro, Rubens Barrichello, and 2 cars not on the lead lap, Dario and Catherine Lay. Scott Dixon, meanwhile, has now led in 6 of the 7 races this season. He has led all but Long Beach, and the biggest movers so far have been Takuma Sato and J.R. Hildebrand, who have both gained 7 positions from the start of the race, and Ryan Hunter-Ray has moved up 5 positions to 8th.
Are open.
And there you hear it. The pits are now open. Scott Dixon led on 4 of the 7 ovals last year and 53 laps this year in the Indianapolis 500.
Dario most likely is going to stay out. So we should be open all the way in, and that was Charlie, as you saw. So we should be open going out. We'll just keep our eye on the traffic around you here.
Mike Hull talking to Scott Dixon. Confirming what we assumed is that Dario is going to need to stay out. Catherine Legg, blue and white car, is also going to stay out.
Behind Dixon.
And here they come.
Man, this will be good. A lot of changes, and you have to be fast.
Let's hear Charlie's pits. So nice and easy right behind Dixie. There you go. Right here.
Scott Dixon, the first to stop up top of your screen.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And Ray Hall. And now here comes Will Power to a stop. Smooth stop, no adjustments, it looked like, for Dixon or Graham Ray Hall.
Wow, that was close between Dixon and Ray Hall.
There was actually a quick wing adjustment on Dixon, but none on Ray Hall.
Make sure 8 when you can.
Wow, what a battle between teammates Hinchcliffe and Andretti on the line. Looks like Hinchcliffe got him. That was a definite close one.
Briscoe gains 3 positions, and Ed Carpenter moves up 5 positions as a result of the pit stop. And Tony Kanaan.
Something's not right.
Yep. Trouble on the right rear. And Kanaan still is not moving. Looks like they're going to change the front wings on the car. We'll find out what happened when we return to Texas Motor Speedway and the Firestone 550.
Life was sweet. Luck was on my side. But then it ran out.
As you took someone from me, so I take someone from you.
I had to run. My name is Sinbad, and this is my adventure.
Most amateur golfers are unaware of the risks associated with the game. Get peace of mind that you are covered for personal injury, accidental property damage, even theft. Don't take the risk. Get Golf Care insurance today. Plus receive 3 free rounds of golf. Now with 30% off any policy from just $22.99 a year. They'll even cover your bar bill for a hole-in-one. Free phone or buy online for instant cover from Golf Care.
If you like action films, romance, documentaries, or whatever else, then you'll love Netflix. Netflix is a new service that lets you watch unlimited films and TV episodes on your PC or TV via a game console or other devices connected to the internet. And best of all, it's instant. Watch as many films and TV episodes as you want for only £6 a month. Start your free trial today.
Alex Whiteman wrote on the Paddy Power Facebook wall, "Can't believe they've banned vuvuzelas from the Euros. They were a right laugh." Well, Alex, good news. We're bringing one along. Out of our way, Sergey. Let's start a rumble in the Euro jungle. Earplugs in, bets on at paddypower.com. We hear you, Alex Whiteman.
Bob, here's the thing that happened. The air jack failed on the 11 car on Tony Kanaan. You can see the guy in the rear just working hard to get that thing up. They worked so hard that they damaged the front wing in the process with the manual jack. So one thing led to another. You can see the guy pointing for a new front wing. Disaster on pit row for TK.
Wow. And Franchitti also has problems.
They came in, and it looks like they disconnected the rear sway bar.
They definitely went to the rear bar and were making a change. And to make that kind of change, even under caution, just shows the level of how hard to get these cars back. That's a huge change.
Simon Pagenaud also with a problem, as he didn't make a clean entry and also hung up Justin Wilson right ahead of him. And Will Power made 2 pit stops because of problems on the right rear as we go back to racing. And look at the 3 wide for a moment activity there as Ryan Hunter-Reay tried to move up. And look at Ed Carpenter past Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Ed Carpenter on the bottom, green and white, had that great momentum. And as you said, Sato right in the mix, blue and white just ahead of him.
Sato running 7th.
Much like in Indy, we saw lots of actions on the restart. Lots of action on the restart. Bo Barfield was going to be a little more vigilant to look for guys that were hanging back and getting big runs. Hunter-Reay had a good start. He might have got into the rev limiter or something, and then he got split by Sato and Carpenter.
Simon Pagenaud is going to get a drive-through penalty.
That, of course, would be for hitting his own wheel and punting it into the pit box of Justin Wilson.
There is Will Power, who is clear back to 20th position after the 2 pit stops.
And he was 3rd going into that pit stop and even came out in 3rd, but they did not, as you mentioned, get the right rear attached securely. So they had to come back in, make that 2nd stop. So Power, who's been strong so far, has to be able to work his way through the field again.
Good battle for 10th, Hildebrand and Ryan Hunter-Reay, and Hildebrand takes the spot. On board with him, looking back now on Hunter-Reay and Castro Neves.
Hildebrand from the back of the field.
Hey, Tommy, update on Dario, man. He's got big-time handling problems. The thing's so loose, they disconnected the rear bar on pit lane. That's what took so long.
Guess what? His teammate, Scott Dixon, a little turn of front wing. The tires were perfect. The car's perfect. And Ricky Davis, the chief mechanic, said, "I can't think of anybody I'd rather see leading this race when you got to drive the car than Scott Dixon. Pagenaud's back on the track, fellas.
And when you see Pagenaud, consider that he got that drive-through because he hit his own tire, but he also hit a tire in Long Beach, got away with it because they didn't get a call from pit road. Now this time, second time this year, but he's got to pay a very hefty penalty for doing so.
Ed Carpenter takes 7th place away from Alex Tagliani. Meanwhile, there is Scott Dixon once again. Went around his teammate Franchitti, who is struggling big time out there. Here comes Ray Hall, 2nd place to the inside of Franchitti.
Guys, he is really struggling here. Man, it's going to be a long day for him. Removing the rear bar, guys, really softens up the back of the car. What you're trying to do is pick up rear grip. If he's loose, he's looking for the rear tires to move a lot more and soak up the grip of the track. But he does not look happy out there. This is going to be, like I said, long night.
EJ Viso and Justin Wilson battle for position.
Tony, let's stay with Tony.
Justin Wilson, of course, was delayed in that pit stop because Pagenaud had punted his own tire in. So now Justin Wilson's got a little extra work to do, and here comes power.
I think you saw a little bit of what caught out Charlie Kimball. You saw Justin Wilson right up the back of Viso. Had to get out of it. You know, that's one thing where I think the experience level, guys that remember the days, the big speeds at Michigan and California, and having to deal with the jet wash with the car more on the verge of sliding than in the pack racing of the past.
And let's talk to Charlie Kimball, who crashed out.
Charlie, we saw the replay. It looked like the thing just snapped on you.
Yeah, I was went into turn 3 and 4 on the high side of the 5 car, and like every lap before that, he was completely unpredictable, moved up right in front of me, and when he did, the thing snapped on me, took all the air off, and we don't, you know, running around here, we don't have a huge amount of downforce. They're really difficult to drive. Doesn't help when he's completely unpredictable like that. You know, I feel bad for the 83 Novolog Flexman guys, because I think the first 2 guys out there, it's an indication of how good the car was in clean air.
Was it fun to drive before that? You know, last year you drove here when it was wide open.
Yeah, I really enjoy the fact that you got to pedal it around here. You got to go looking for grip, but it's disappointing when some of the drivers don't have the respect for it, what needs to happen.
Well, we're glad you're okay. Bobby?
Yeah, Charlie finished 8th at Brazil, 8th at Indianapolis, 8th at Belle Isle. He'll finish in 23rd position here today. Dario Franchitti is turning laps at 192 miles an hour compared with the leader, Scott Dixon, at 211.
Yeah, Bob, he's in big trouble. He just came on the radio now screaming about push, meaning understeer. So they fixed the problem with being loose, but a rear bar change like that, removing the rear bar is so big that it's shifted the balance completely in the other direction.
Now, what exactly does that do, Jan?
Well, what it does is it's like a sway bar that you'd have in your road car, and when you disconnect that, it changes the way the car loads up in the corner. So right here where you see Ryan Briscoe followed by Sato, when they're loading into the corner, if you don't have a bar, it changes the whole way the car takes a set. If you actually disconnect something you normally have connected, it just completely changes that balance. I mean, they had to be desperate to go that far.
They were out of adjustments because the series they're limited. The most downforce you can run is -5 degrees on the rear wing. They're capped there, so they can't fix it, and they're already running that little wicker, so they were out of adjustments. They'd already taken huge turns of front wing out, and that was sort of their last ditch. It'd be interesting to see what they do now.
In terms of progress so far, J.R. Hildebrand leads the pack with 15 positions gained since the start of the race. Hildebrand is currently running in 8th position, but he has moved up and passed more cars than any other driver. Takuma Sato has gained 14 spots, Ed Carpenter 12. And Joseph Newgarden is up to 19th. He has passed 6 cars since he started way back in last position.
And all this, we're not even a quarter of the way through this 550K race.
Well, we haven't seen pack racing, but we've seen some good side-by-side racing at times and a lot of passing.
We've also seen some engineer racing. I mean, it really does it not come down to who is going to have the ultimate mechanical setup, since you can't put more downforce in it. You know, who is the combination between driver and engineer that has what the driver wants, and then you need a driver to hang on to it. And amazingly, in the very same team, we've seen the best and the worst. We see Scott Dixon seeming like he's got a handle completely on it, and his teammate, where they share all the data, is completely lost.
One of the things I'm looking at, guys, is Graham Rahall's tire wear down here. That first set of tires looks great. I mean, they're getting great tire wear. He's got a good balance. One thing I learned at Indy, this car is knife edge, man. You can be over or under. It's really hard to get right in that sweet spot.
Right before that caution, Graham Rahal was actually dialing back in Scott Dixon, and you notice he made no changes to his car, no visible change. They could have changed tire pressure or something like that, but obviously pretty happy with his car.
Power takes 15th from E.J. Viso. Will Power, the winner of the second race last year here at Texas. We had the twin races last year with Dario winning one and Will winning the second. For Scott Dixon, his advantage over Graham Rahal is just a little more than 1 second.
Going to ask Thomas Schechter here in the studio alongside Johnny Kane to make sure that my understanding of why Dario Franchitti is in so much difficulty. If you've got any questions, of course, you can at Sky IndyCar give us a tweet and we'll try and pick up on that. We'll find out who the real IndyCar fans are by them being awake at this time in the morning, of course, so it'll be a test for later. Thomas, I mean, I've got to just try and fill us in for other people that are a bit like me when it comes to the fact that Dario Franchitti had a great car in qualifying, not a bad car in practice, but the differential between actual practice and qualifying is so huge that he can't even drive the thing, it would seem.
Yeah, and it's a different animal, especially with this car. I think in the car that they had last year and for many years before that, we would run extreme setups in qualifying. And he might have tried to carry that setup across, and I'm talking mechanically with right rear spring. And it looks like as soon as the car loaded up, that's when he got loose. And, you know, they made an aero change and that didn't seem to help. They brought him back in, they disconnected the rear bar. But right now as a driver, when you get that loose on an oval like this, it sort of plays tricks with your mind, and he's probably thinking that it's going to snap out any second, even with this disconnected bar and no front wing.
To take that bar off, to explain, Johnny, I mean, all that is a bar that basically keeps the car flat, doesn't it? It stops the front wheel from lifting up a little bit when the back sits down. I mean,
well, it stops the rear rolling too much. But obviously, you know, if the rear rolls a lot, then it can lift the inside front tyre. But, you know, Dario, I think he's now got understeer in the car. I think we heard on the radio that he was complaining to the team he now has understeer. But, you know, he's taken so much front wing out of it and done the rear bar as well. But he had to do something to try and settle the car down and get his head back in gear. And hopefully now he can try and work his way back into it.
Well, still a long way to go in this race. Let's get back to the track and our colleagues.
League soccer continues on the NBC Sports Network. The Chicago Fire host the New York Red Bulls. All rise for Major League Soccer Sunday, June 17th, 5 Eastern on the NBC Sports Network. Ryan Hunter-Reay has a problem. He is dropping like a rock. Oh, and a car into
Sato.
Takuma Sato.
Running in 6th.
Wow. Second caution of the evening. Charlie Kimball crashed earlier. He's okay. Takuma Sato makes contact with the wall on lap number 65. Sato finished 20th at Belle Isle last week as Bobby Rahal, his car owner, takes a look. But as Robin Miller mentioned in the pit walk, he made some fans at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the move he made, but he was not successful. Let's see if we can follow.
It's way late. That's in the middle of the straightaway.
Ooh, and Hildebrand just escaped.
Drivable, Taku.
No.
That is unusual. That's weird looking.
That was, as you said, way past the exit of 2.
He's going to come back and look at the back of the car, which tells me that something broke.
The only way he's saving that Tommy that far down is if he got into some kind of wicked tank slapper and he was just catching it. But, man, it looks weird. That's a long ways down the straight, like you said.
That's Roger Yasukawa, by the way, who's spotting for Takuma Sato, former IndyCar racer.
You saw Sebastian Bourdais up there as well, not driving. Would obviously be spotting for Catherine Legge.
Yeah, Bourdais is doing the road and street courses, and Catherine Legge is doing the ovals as Ryan Hunter-Ray comes in.
3, 2, 1.
His report on the radio, of course, was that he felt he was having some problems, and they go towards the lid.
We've got a problem. I think we've lost power. It wouldn't accelerate at all here. It feels like something's really bound up in the back. 10-4. You don't smell anything burning, do you? I thought I did, but then Sato crashed. But I thought it was like starting to vibrate a little bit at the rear. I'm not sure.
Well, that was a radio transmission prior to the entry to the pit area, and now here is Scott Dixon, the leader, on pit lane, getting service.
No changes for Scott Dixon. Grant Rahall's out, and no changes for him either. They're looking good.
And Hildebrand, a slight adjustment as he comes out.
Took front wing. Long stop for Briscoe.
Yeah. Viso comes out just ahead of Will Power, with whom he was battling before we had the caution.
Now, something that Ryan Hunter-Ray said, which might tie into the Sato story, he said it felt bound up at the rear. So if it's quite possible that it's not losing power, that they have some sort of an issue, possibly a hub or something like that, that's dragging, which, we need to find out what happened to Sato's car if there was some sort of a failure.
Now remember, Indy 500, it was, if I recall, it was a right rear wheel bearing that knocked Ryan Hunter-Ray out. So you wonder if that somehow could be related, because this is the next oval in the schedule.
Look at J.R. Hildebrand.
Yeah.
Up to 4th, leaving the pits.
There is Ryan Briscoe, who dropped back to 12th. Watching Ryan Briscoe. Right rear again is the last to go on, but the fuel is taking a long time, much longer than normal. And as a result, Briscoe drops back to 12th position. Dario is back in as they continue to work on the handling of that car. There is Joseph Newgarden as he gets service and rolls back into competition.
Go, go, go.
68 laps of 228 have been completed here at Texas Motor Speedway. Scott Dixon leads Graham Rahal. James Hinchcliffe has moved up to 3rd, and J.R. Hildebrand for Panther Racing. The National Guard car is up to 4th position.
That is a heck of, and with some huge, scary moments during the first run, chasing the back of that car big time, and now all the way up to 4th. Incredible run.
And you know why he was so scary, TK? He had the bars going the wrong way. Yep, Hunter-Ray's out of the car.
Wow.
The Panther guys say that basically JR just moved the bars the wrong way. So
made it looser.
Made it looser, and then he finally realized what he'd done, and he changed it again. So I'd say once he got the bars in the right place, he was pretty quick.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Some guys have the bars labeled really technically, and some people have it real simple. Make push with arrows.
Race fans.
Normally, Tommy.
Go ahead.
Normally, Tommy, those things are labeled like you push forward. Generally, push for push. So both rear and front bar, you push for push.
Michael Andretti, the car owner. You can download the IndyCar mobile by calling ** Indy. For tablets, visit indy.vzw.com or Google Play, only from Verizon. Well, sun begins to set here in Texas as we get set to go back to competition.
That make push was Gordon Johncock. He couldn't keep it straight with the push and loose and so forth. So they just said make push.
Anytime you can mention the name Gordon Johncock in a show, Tommy, you've been successful. I mentioned Lloyd Ruby early in the show. Now we got Gordon Johncock. We're doing well. I'm sure Robin can throw in a few more names as the evening goes along. But here, the crowd rises, and they cheer as the green flag comes out, and we are back to racing. Scott Dixon shows the way.
Ed Carpenter's going low, green and white on the bottom. He started 19th. He's powering up towards the front.
Marco, in your mirrors.
Here's some rev limiters.
Ed Carpenter had such a great run there, and then it seems like now he's backing up to this group. Tony Kanaan going on the high side right in the middle of the mix.
After his problem on pit lane, he has moved up to 11th spot, battling with Viso for 11th.
Those shots underscore that even though they don't have pack racing, it is far from tame. I mean, you get a really good idea of the speed and how quick stuff's happening.
You heard him grabbing gears and rev limiters, shifting, lifting, a lot going on.
Ryan Briscoe is at the top of the racetrack, trying to move up alongside E.J. Viso, and let's talk to Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Ryan, what ultimately put you out? What was the issue with the power?
Injector problem. I don't know, just lost power, and we slowly but surely we're losing power. It's unfortunate, really unfortunate. We had a really good start to the season going, really good in points, and then now with 3 straight mechanical issues, it's so unfortunate. These guys work so hard, and I think we had a good race car going tonight. I think it might be time for me to cut off the facial hair. I don't know what to do.
We wondered if people could go a full stint on the tires. We haven't seen that yet, about halfway. How are the tires holding up?
On new tires there, I was able to make up a lot of positions, around the outside. On older tires, we didn't have the best of balance, and we were tuning on it, though. I think we would have been all right, but we just kept losing power. So I really don't know. I'm probably not the best guy to ask, but certainly a lot of work out there.
All right, we'll see you in Milwaukee. Better luck there.
Ryan Hunter-Reay has 4 top 10 finishes in the 6 races, but he will not get one tonight. We saw Justin Wilson pick up a position. He is now up to 6th. Helio Castro-Neves also moving up. Marco, meanwhile, loses a couple of spots. He's back to 8th.
Look at how darty Marco is. Big lift. Saw the flame out of the exhaust from Tony. And now it looks like here comes Servia and Viso.
Oriol Servia up on the high side of E.J. Viso there for a moment in the black and green car this weekend for Servia. Sponsored by Valspar. Meanwhile, it's now Tagliani who is going to the inside of Servia. So positions being changed here in the pack, but not up front. Dixon leads Rahal, Hinchcliffe, and Hildebrand.
There's a new way to rent movies instantly. It's called the Sky Store, and it's open to Sky TV customers with Anytime Plus. Rent over 1,000 movies instantly with Sky Store.
Brand new to Sky Movies.
Morning, Arthur. And friend. Tiffany.
Hobson!
Hobson!
I think I could live without them.
Oh, yes? How?
I get a job.
Know how to use Excel? Outlook.
Generally positive. Arthur, available now. Brand new to Sky Movies.
Silence the irritation with Nivea for Men Sensitive. Proud supplier to the England team.
from visionary artist Plan B.
Absolutely fantastic, pure genius.
It's a great film. Go see it.
Ill Manners in cinemas now.
Right now at B&Q, there's 4 for 3 on a huge range of paving slabs and stepping stones. 4 for 3 on all deckboard and deck tiles. And buy one, get one half price mix and match on all Dulux and all Cuprinol. So don't miss out on your chance to say,
I did that.
This weekend, you can do it too with B&Q.
If you're going to Ireland, let Irish Ferries take you there. And your car too. You're aboard for a good time, not a long time, so relax. You're on holiday. From just £79 one way for a car and driver on the biggest ferries on the Irish Sea. Book now at irishferries.com.
Let's put our pit guys to work here for the next few minutes as Firestone takes us through the field. Here's Townsend Bell.
Well, Bob, let's start off with leader Scott Dixon. He is right where he wants to be. His tires look great. His balance is good. He's second in the championship. Won Detroit. He's leading now. And then we move on back to Graham Rahal, his teammate. Equally as happy with his balance, but here's a guy that's 15th in points. He needs a result today, Kevin.
James Hinchcliffe has worked his way up to third, started sixth. He was one of those uncertain coming in to this race here, but he has been moving along quite nicely. He has, though, asked to add some front wing at the next stop and some weight jacker to calm the front on entry, Robin.
Jared Hildebrand starts 23rd. Kevin, he charges to 4th once he gets his bars right. Ed Carpenter's 5th. He's also making a big charge. He got 14 cars back. And the good news is, he just tweeted, he had his PR person just tweet, "This thing's boring, I apologize to the fans." Doesn't look boring from here. Then we got Justin Wilson in 6th place. He had a good run at Indy. He's starting to get the hang of all these ovals right now. Kevin?
Elio Castroneves is rolling. He just picked up another spot. He started back mid-pack in this race, 15th, and he's worked his way up to 6th. Townsend?
Tony Kanaan, you know, things started off a little rough for his KB teammates, but he's been looking for a great run tonight. He's currently 9th in points. He's charging.
Will Powers, another mover. Remember, he was running 3rd before they had to take 2 pit stops because of a right rear being loose. He fell all the way back to 19th at the restart, dropped to 20th, but he's on the charge. Power is strong right now, Townsend.
EJ Vizo, you know, had a complaint there from Charlie Kimball, but I can't blame Vizo for that. He's having a good, solid run. He has not had any big incidents on track this year. I think Jimmy Vasser's had a lot to do with that.
Marco Andretti is 11th. He's slipping a little bit in this stint. He started 8th, got up as high as 4th. He was very unhappy in the practice session yesterday. Said he was going to crash, can't drive the car. They made a shock change. Better today, and he said early on he's ready to fight. Got to get back up to the front again, Townsend.
Orioles in the pits.
Oriole Serbia makes a pit stop, and this is not of the scheduled variety. And Mike Conway also comes in. Here at lap number 91, we have 2 contenders in the pit area. Mike Conway had the engine change that cost him 10 grid positions, but was 2nd quickest in the final practice last night and has been looking good here today, but he is now dropping back because of the pit stop. There is Ed Carpenter in 6th, and Oriole Serbia is getting out.
He is getting out. I also noticed, you may have wondered what was up with Conway just taking fuel. That happens if you have a pit stop, you don't get all the fuel. And when I was watching closely at that Briscoe pit stop that we weren't sure why it was so long, you could actually see the valve on the fueler did not open for a long time. I'll bet something similar to that happened to Conway. They found out they didn't get all the fuel and they needed to get it. You wonder whether Briscoe got everything in that long stop that he had.
Wow, big on board with Kanaan. Big lift in the middle of the corner.
Couple of lifts, it sounded to me like.
Still on your corner, outside. Keep digging.
Howard takes 8th.
And when Serbia came in, I heard him say we're done, and something about fuel pressure.
That's a lot of lifting. But that is exactly what the drivers you heard earlier in the pre-race show, they sat down in Detroit with the technical director and said, we want to be lifting in the corners. We want to bring that in. And they've got it.
And look at these Penske cars up high. You saw Castroneves just sail by Hildebrand.
And as a result, Castroneves is in 4th place.
Whoa, it skates up there, though. When you get up high, it does move around.
I did notice with Graham Rahal, he was, entering into the corner low. It's the transition into the corner and off the corner, the abrupt change from bank to unbanked. It seemed to be giving him some trouble, and that was something. That's one of the problems when you run the high groove. You're going to get into that with a little bit more steering angle in the car.
3-car battle here. That's Justin Wilson passing J.R. Hildebrand.
All right, let's get back in it.
Carpenter 5th, Wilson 6th, Hildebrand now 7th. And Robin is with Oriol Servia.
Oriol, what can you tell us what happened?
Well, we started to have a fuel pressure alarm on the wheel, and every lap was just all of a sudden getting worse, the engine. I was running full throttle, and it just wouldn't carry any speed. We think we have an injector problem or something, which is rare, but it happened today.
Was it fun? Was it fun to race in this condition? Did you have a good time when you were out there?
I was happy with the car. I mean, we worked very hard yesterday in a good race car, and we were moving forward. And just after the first stop is when it started to have issues, and already in the restart I couldn't accelerate well. So
I guess what I meant to say was the changes are good. Happy with the changes that you guys made to the cars as far as race-wise?
Yeah, I think at the beginning it was very tough. We had the NASCAR track rubber from yesterday, and the car was sliding a lot, but it was just getting better and better.
I like it when he says NASCAR because you use all those R's, Bobby. Servia is the king of R's.
Well, he's also been the king of passing cars this season. If you were watching our pre-race show, we pointed out that he has gained 73 positions total this year. Now, James Hinchcliffe is up to 2nd position, getting around Graham Rahal, and there is Power and Viso for 9th. Dixon, by the way, has moved up to have a 7-second advantage on Hinchcliffe. Dixon over Hinchcliffe. And there is Marco Andretti passing Viso for 10th.
Maybe not. Stay side by side. We'll find out which is better in this case, high or low. You're going to keep that more momentum on the high as long as it doesn't drift.
Viso holds him off.
Yep, for the moment.
And he's really closing on Power now. Power must have had to get out of the throttle.
Viso going for 9th. Can't make the pass though now. Meanwhile, up ahead of them is Hildebrand and Kanaan.
Yeah, they're catching these two.
And Kanaan goes to 7th.
Big lift from Hildebrand.
3rd place battle is between Wilson in the Sonny's barbecue car and Graham Rahal.
Oh, and he's got to run. Here he comes.
Look at the inside with Wilson.
A good run for Justin Wilson, driving for Dale Coyne.
Nice.
He's got 3rd.
And a guy that took a while to take to the ovals, and showed some good speed at Indianapolis, and not real afraid here. He came in the first practice session when we saw all the guys getting this sideways. He said, I'm coming in for...
You work yourself all the way up to P3 now. That's P2 in front of you, Hinch. Plus 12.
Just shows you when the handle goes away, how quickly the cars head in the other direction.
And now Ed Carpenter and Graham Rahal are 4th and 5th. We're nearing the halfway point of the Firestone 550. 105 of 228 laps are completed.
History is made in Formula One.
with the most extraordinary start to the season.
It's Mark Webber, the 6th different winner.
Now, after the glory of Monaco,
Good to see you on the grid.
Formula One moves to Montreal. Join the Sky Sports team, former world champion Jacques Villeneuve, and see who will be the 7th.
Great drive.
The only place to see the whole race live. The Canadian Grand Prix, Sky Sports F1, coverage sponsored by Santander.
Alex Whiteman wrote on the Paddy Power Facebook wall, "Can't believe they've banned vuvuzelas from the Euros. They were a right laugh." Well, Alex, good news. We're bringing one along. Out of our way, Sergey. Let's start a rumble in the Euro jungle. Earplugs in, bets on at paddypower.com. We hear you, Alex Whiteman.
Why is it paying less for your broadband on phone sometimes means you have to compromise on service? That's not the PlusNet way. With them, you pay a great price and get great service. That's why they've been recommended by Which. Again. Can you stop that? It's really distracting. And who drew that big dog? A great broadband service. PlusNet will do you proud.
You sit, you win. You grit, you win. Edge closer, bit by bit, you win. You dream, you win. You scream, you win. Ball rolls onto the green, you win. You peep, you leap. Collapse on the floor in a heap, you win. Introducing the new Santander 2-year cash ISA, offering 4% AER with a bonus 0.1% if Rory McIlroy wins an eligible golf major. Win if he wins, and win if he doesn't.
Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. It's the Firestone 550, and the big news is Justin Wilson has been making all the moves, and he has just passed that man James Hinchcliffe there for second place. Courtney passed third place, Courtney passed second place. He's on a mission. Justin Wilson, Sheffield in England, and the man's doing us proud. Let's go back.
Catching Dixon, now he's lost a position.
Justin Wilson lost 4 positions on that pit stop on lap 37. He was 12th when they entered pit road and 16th on the restart after dodging Pagano's tire, but he has moved up to 2nd. Let's talk to Sato.
Takuma, can you tell us what happened?
I don't know, but suddenly lost the back end at exit to turn 2. Was always nervous. I mean, today we never, gone flat at all. Had to lift all the time, which was great. And I moved up quite a lot of pace, but unfortunately the car went really nervous on turn 2 and then lost it.
Okay, Kevin. Marco's in the pits and Mr. Sato said he had to lift.
Kyle Moyer's been talking to Marco a lot about shifting. That's been the focus this last hit. And there's a fire as he exits. Well, fuel obviously didn't get extinguished all the way. It puts itself out as he goes back on the track, but that's scary when you see that flame. And here comes Castroneves down to make his stop. He has been a hard charger here at this point. Castroneves, 60 miles an hour down the pit lane. He's got a clean in, and he'll have a clean exit as well. Elio will take 4 Firestone Firehawks, 18.5 gallons of Sunoco E85 ethanol. This is a nice clean stop for Castroneves. We'll see where he cycles back in.
And you can clearly see for Castroneves, when you have that water bottle, the idea is that after your pit stop, you will spray and dilute any of the fuel that's left. Obviously, for Marco Andretti, there was either an additional bit of fuel spilled or didn't get the water done, because that was a big flame.
We're halfway, and James Hinchcliffe is on pit lane.
Your brakes are where they belong.
Marco in again.
And James Hinchcliffe pitting right in front of him, and Marco is taking the steering wheel off. So Andretti looks like he's going to be done. He's climbing out at this point. Meanwhile, right in front of him, they needed a stop to address issues for James Hinchcliffe. He had lost a couple of spots. He's back out.
But not so for Marco Andretti, and here comes Will Power.
We should watch the right rear, because in previous stops they've had some trouble with the right rear, and I almost wonder if it's the lug nut and the hub itself. So keep an eye and see if they've got that resolved.
So far, so good.
Seems to get all the way tightened this time. Well, you need the quick stops near the end, and he gets it.
Nice stop. And the leader is on pit road, or about to be. Scott Dixon has led 96 laps. And J.R. Hildebrand pits at the same time. Hildebrand will be the first to come to the attention of his crew.
Yeah, guys, I'm here with Scott Dixon. No changes to his car yet. Let's see what they do. Little bit of front wing, half a turn out of the front wing, and he is off. He wants to know where Justin Wilson came from.
And did Wilson go too far? Because Wilson stayed out, and he looked to me like he was slowing.
Well, he certainly was slow in comparison to Castro Neves, who sailed by. But now it looks
probably
like
the difference between old and new tires.
Yeah. Wow, got a block track. Ooh.
Outside.
And Graham Rahal pits on the right.
Yeah, guys, smooth stop so far. Let's see if front wing's everything on this. Little slow on the left front. Had a problem getting that off. No changes in the front wing. He's away.
Watch your speed. Be sure you reset.
Usually a watch here is whoever can go the longest gets a big edge because you lose a lap when you stop. Obviously, if it stays green, that all comes out in the wash. But Justin Wilson is going to be on a lap of his own if he can stay out. Now, because the tires are such a big issue, we're finding guys are maybe going to pit more when the tires are worn out. But this could, if we get a yellow right now, really good for Justin Wilson.
Well, Justin Wilson's last lap, of course, Ed Carpenter now pitting. They just went 53 laps, but for Justin Wilson, he dropped to 193 miles an hour, just like you're talking about. Yes, he stayed out, but he's slowing way down at the same time that Scott Dixon's flying.
Hard to tell if that was the traffic with Jakes and so forth. But yeah, losing some time relative to guys flying on new tires.
This is Tony Kanaan, who goes back into the race, and now Justin Wilson continues without stopping as we see Briscoe and Dixon.
Guys, the whole key here is going to be if this is a green flag stop, we got to watch what Justin does on that outlap through the apron. That's where all the time is. See where he matches up with Dixon.
Pole sitter Alex Tagliani here.
Right down here with Tagliani, fuel goes in. No issue with the tires. Let's watch the front wing. I think they add a little bit of front wing, it looked like. I'm from behind. That means he's got a little bit of understeer. They're adding front wing.
Green flag pit stops occurring here as we're just a little past the halfway mark. Simon Pagenaud is on pit road. He was up to second when he hit pit lane.
One of only 2 cars on the lead lap.
Service completed. Pagenaud back in the race.
Hit this lap, hit this lap, hit this lap.
There you go.
All right, there's the answer. That's the radio to Justin Wilson. Looks like he will go 57 laps. Now what that can do, that gives him a bit more fuel to use in his last couple of stints.
And his teammate James Jakes is running in second position right now.
He's pitting right behind him, it looks like.
Will also be in need of a pit stop.
Dixon just unlapped himself right there. Give you a comparison. Wilson last lap was 200. Dixon's was 210.
I think that Wilson was staying out hoping there'd be a caution.
Yep.
Had there been a caution, like you said, he would have been on the lap on his own.
All right, boys, he's in. He's taking 4 tires. No adjustments yet. The old Oval Meister. All right, Scott Dixon just rolls by. Justin, good stuff with the Elkhorn boys.
And here comes Dixon down through the front stretch into turn number 1.
So it actually cost him quite a bit of time. It was a gamble to try to trap everybody a lap down, but he lost relative track position. The benefits could come, like you said, if the track continues to get better as the air cools off, the NASCAR truck rubber is all gone. If speed becomes an issue, he can pour more fuel to it towards the end.
So right now it's Dixon, Hinchcliffe by 6 seconds. Dixon leading by 6 seconds over Hinchcliffe. Carpenter is third. Power just took fourth from Justin Wilson, who is in 5th position.
we mentioned Marco Andretti came down when he left after his pit stop. There was a fire in the car that extinguished itself by the time he got to the end of pit road. He came back around, thought he was still on fire. He pitted, unbuckled, climbed out of the car. The whole time the team was saying, no, you're okay. But it took 6 laps to strap him back in. So that's why there's so many laps down. Michael Andretti's been in there asking those same questions.
And among those who went a lap down on those pit stops, Graham Rahal, Alex Tagliani, and J.R. Hildebrand in 10th, 11th, and 12th. We'll be right back.
Scott Dixon back out front then in the Target Chip Ganassi car, but it was Justin Wilson that we all had our eyes on here in the London studio for a moment or two. But Thomas, I mean, talk to me about strategy, because in Formula One and quite often in oval races, you try and cover the strategy that someone else is pulling. But he spent 2-3 laps going around at 190 something miles an hour compared with the 210 that everyone else on new tyres could manage. I mean, was that a faulty strategy, a wrong strategy at the time?
A little bit. I think it maybe was a little bit of a wrong strategy. As soon as they saw Dixon going into the 210s and 212s, they should have really called him in. But again, they might have been hoping for a yellow, and then he would have been a lap ahead, so you can't blame him for staying out. But the other thing is now Dixon's tyres will go off a little sooner, and hopefully Justin will catch him back up again. Well, Johnny Kane, we can see EJ Viso now out of the way. I mean, that will please 1 or 2 drivers out there, I would hazard a guess. Yeah. And there goes the yellow then for the 3rd time. EJ Viso doesn't seem to have collected anybody or anything, so he just parks to the apron, and while our colleagues are on a break, we can just watch the pictures as they go through here. I mean, you've got to say, Justin Wilson, do you feel that might have been a roll of the dice by Dale Coyne and his driver?
Well, I suppose they wanted to stretch the fuel as long as they possibly could, and if this yellow had come 2 or 3 laps ago, it would have been absolutely perfect for him. That is one of the things with oval racing. Sometimes the yellow falls for you, sometimes it doesn't. But I have to say, Scott Dixon has looked massively strong all night so far.
Most of the tweets that are coming through are regarding the differential between Scott Dixon and Dario Franchitti, of course. It's a huge difference with the way their performance are tonight, same car.
Yeah, I mean, Dario is now three laps down.
Time to go back then at Sky IndyCar if you want to get in touch. Let's go back to our colleagues.
Well, you saw a non-stop EJ Viso's car came to a halt here on the front stretch. EJ out of the car, jumping the wall, but his night is over after a decent performance for KB Racing Technology gang. Scott Dixon, meanwhile, is the leader of the race. Now, right behind him is Graham Rahal, but Rahal is a lap down in 9th spot.
All these cars having just stopped, I wouldn't expect many of the front runners.
On this lap, pit.
Oh wow! I was going to say I wouldn't expect many to pit. What this is about is because you lose a lap pitting under green, nobody can take that chance of they're trying to extend their pit window as far as they can because you can't afford to get trapped a lap down.
But now will Rahal, hoping to make up a lap, not pit?
I suspect he will stay out.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm actually quite surprised that Dixon's pitting here, just like you.
Stop down here.
I wouldn't have stopped.
Rahal stays out. And Kevin.
A lot of teams were talking about just follow Scott Dixon. There you see James Hinchcliffe in the middle. He was one of those. They told him do exactly what Dixon does. Same thing for Will Power is one of those that's going to come in. Ed Carpenter on the bottom of the screen. We've got some issues, and we've got Helio Castroneves coming together with Joseph Newgarden. So Newgarden and Castroneves together. Meanwhile, Will Power gets out. Castroneves wanted to come in to deal with a push in the car. And then now as he's exiting, Tony Kanaan maybe got the back end of Castroneves. Certainly it was very close, so a very costly stop for Castroneves, who was in the possibilities to get to the front in this race.
Yeah, he was sixth. He's wanting to go. He doesn't want to get trapped a lap down.
No contact, guys, with Kanaan. I was watching from behind. Kanaan was just waiting to go. They were trying to push his car back. Let's see what happened.
On the way, Joseph is on the way.
Where his pit was.
Exactly.
Well, meanwhile, Elio goes back out onto the track.
Now, we've seen two rookies. Newgarden's only has one oval start under his belt, as does Pagenaud, and both of them having issues, you know, kind of zoning in on their pit.
Rahal, Tagliani, Hildebrand, and Castro Neves got their lap back, so now 11 cars on the lead lap. There's
We got to
Elio.
get to the back.
All right, let's get down to Robin, who's with Derek Walker.
Derek, you guys didn't pit. Dixon did. What's the strategy?
Well, we think it's a little too early. We want to ride it out a little bit longer. Obviously, they're rolling the dice. It's a pretty good call, but, you know, we'll see who works out best in the end.
Ed's done a hell of a job charging from the back to the front. What's he saying about the car?
Well, actually, the car's not that good, so Ed is doing a really good job. We've been struggling with the balance, and he's been just hanging on and running like a son of a gun, so doing great. Pit stops have been great.
Thanks, Derek. Kevin?
Elio Castroneves, as you can see, just came back in. What happened? Joseph Newgarden just missed his box. He went too far, and there was nowhere for Elio to pit, so Elio had to wait basically for traffic to clear. Dario Franchitti also rolling down the pit lane, back out. J.R. Hildebrand also rolling down pit lane, getting back out.
Marco Andretti also. But the leader of the race now is James Hinchcliffe, with Ed Carpenter. That is, of course, Derek Walker, who Derek is working for. He's second. Justin Wilson is third. Scott Dixon is fourth. Then Power, Briscoe, Kanaan, Rahal, Tagliani, and Castro Neves are the top 10. And there are 11 cars on the lead lap, with J.R. Hildebrand the last car on the lead lap.
And it looks like by Dixon pitting, all the cars that were lapped between Dixon and Hinchcliffe, it looks like 4 cars were able to get back on the lead lap. Big gift for Rahal, Tagliani, and Hildebrand.
Having grown up in the Indianapolis area when I was growing up, on Channel 8 television, Wish TV, there was a great sports director named Jim Wilson, and he passed away this past week, and his son Jimmy has been a regular on our crew for the past several years, and we just want to send our condolences and best wishes to Jimmy Wilson and all of the Wilson family. All right, 136 laps are completed here.
Now, the dice roll that Walker was talking about.
If they're going to make me say something, but it's single file. My paycheck asked me run.
It does not change the number of stops. No one's able to skip a stop. So basically, if it goes green from the end, the edge probably goes to the guys that did not stop. If there's a yellow in between where they have to stop and when Dixon has to stop with that extra fuel, it'll really tip Dixon's way. So it's kind of a track position play. Be interesting to see how this all. There's only, look, 4 cars in front of Dixon. So it's like Walker said, it's a pretty good gamble. Whether or not it's a good call depends on how many people adopt that strategy. Quite a few people stop. So looking pretty good for Dixon.
Tim Cindric just told Will Power a moment ago, you've got to take care of the tires. We need to go the full stint here. We only have 1 set of stickers left.
Oh, boy, the field bunches up. Hinchcliffe brings him down relatively slowly, bunching up everybody behind him. He has the lead, but look on the outside. That's Pagenaud trying to get a lap back. 3 wide racing. On board with Pagenaud.
Look at Scott Dixon all the way down low, almost making it 3 wide. That car, now we know why he stopped. He had a fast car already. Now he's got fresh tires, and man, he's on the move.
Yeah, he's up to second already.
Wow. And just like you're saying, Tommy, he really didn't lose that many positions because of because so many other people through that sequence decided to pit, and that goes to show these guys know how to make the calls, and before you know it, he's going to be right up front.
Again, Pagano, the blue and white car, is not on the lead lap. He is a lap down in 12th spot.
I thought I just caught Briscoe maybe getting a little loose into 3 as the camera panned away.
The 67 car of Joseph Newgarden will get a drive-through penalty for missing his pit box. He is doing it right now. Newgarden serving the penalty.
We saw Pagano wiggle off of 4 and going straight to the sway bars.
Newgarden rejoins the race. This is the 4th race that Hinchcliffe has led this year, only the 5th in his career, and he now no longer is the leader as Scott Dixon blasts through on the bottom of the racetrack and takes over first place. And here comes power.
Guys, don't forget Scott Dixon was one of the guys that said this is in the driver's hands now. It's about racecraft, it's about talent. You're just seeing a guy that happy with his car, confident in his abilities, showing everybody how to do it.
Look at Briscoe, the 2010 winner, coming like a freight train. Look at him.
Power and Briscoe, teammates battling for position, and they're both bearing down on Hinchcliffe. There are your top 4. Let's see how much they're separated by. Top 4 separated by 0.6 of a second.
Wow, look at that skate. Briscoe on the high side. He's got position now, though.
Any edge that... Whoa! Man.
Go inside.
Hello.
Hinchcliffe maintains second.
Take your time.
Remember, James Hinchcliffe has 30 laps on those tires. Briscoe has 11.
Bit of a slide job there by Power. Really stuffed it in there in turn 3.
Now Hinchcliffe to 3rd. Let's see now, Briscoe can make the move at the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 3. Yes, he will. So it's Dixon, Target Chip Ganassi Racing, Power and Briscoe, Team Penske running 2nd and 3rd here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Now, gentlemen, start your engine.
You did read the book, loved this book.
This one. Starlings. Sunday at 8, part of Sky One Sundays.
My name's Paul Favory, and I grow oranges in Florida for Tropicana. My grandpa taught me a lot about life, and most importantly, orange growing. You pick those oranges when they're at the peak of their ripeness. That's how you make the best orange juice. Every glass has 2 squeezed oranges in it. Bet you didn't know that.
And why not try Tropicana creations, like zesty orange and lime, succulent orange and mango, or luscious orange and raspberry, for a deliciously different taste. Discover Tropicana creations.
118 for no wickets, but that just might interrupt play. Or will it? No, it won't!
My mother was murdered when I was just a boy.
There is darkness everywhere, Mr. Lincoln. I can teach you how to see them, how to destroy them.
I shall kill them all.
If you're going to Ireland, let Irish Ferries take you there, and your car too. You're aboard for a good time, not a long time, so relax. You're on holiday. From just £79 one way for a car and driver on the biggest ferries on the Irish Sea. Book now at irishferries.com.
and Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe has lost 5 positions since the restart. He was a leader at that time. And right now, the point separation is 14. Power with a 14-point advantage on Scott Dixon. That's Elio Castroneves running with Joseph Newgarden in the blue and black car, and Graham Rahal right behind Elio. Now those two guys again are the last cars on the lead lap. Castroneves is 10th and Rahal is 11th. We also saw Tony Kanaan while we were in break past Hinchcliffe, and here's how that was accomplished.
Bob, what that does when you have Kanaan moving up to 4th spot, it puts those 4 cars all that pitted 1, 2, 3, 4. So it turns out we're so used to looking at fuel strategy, but Tommy, we said at the beginning of this race, this may be a race where you're doing tire strategy, thinking about I want new tires, even if you sacrifice track position, because it all comes back to you.
Now, so I was about to say any advantage that Hinchcliffe might have gained by staying out is gone away, but there should be only one more stop. If we get a late race caution with a dash for the checker, he's got one more set of stickers than all 4 of these cars. So the only way this could swing back to his favor, everybody will have one more stop for fuel, but if he has the option of coming in and putting stickers on towards the end if we get a short dash to the checker.
Tony Kanaan participated in Tony Stewart's Prelude to the Dream, in which they raced dirt modifieds. Now, Kanaan finished 4th in his heat race, but in the big race at Eldora Speedway, Kanaan finished in 22nd position out of 26. But another example of Kanaan and the versatility that he has. Castroneves up high from Hildebrand, and Castroneves is in 8th.
Guys, you know one thing I love about watching this right now is TK's telemetry. He's got a lift. We're back to driving racetracks. I think that's fantastic. The guys here that are doing a good job have just been walking that tightrope all day long. Good news for TK. He's got 500 guests from Mauser, his title sponsor here in Dallas, watching tonight. So looking for a big result.
And I believe I said dirt modifieds. They were dirt late models at Eldora Speedway.
Bobby?
Yes.
The Eldora race, Tony Kanaan put Danica Patrick in the wall. I had to tell you that.
I didn't want to say that, but
well, I had to tell you.
Were you there, Robin?
No, Tony Stewart would not let me in the track.
Oh, okay. There's a separation between 1st and 2nd. It's 0.7 of a second on the clock. Matter of car lengths for Scott Dixon. And we understand that James Hinchcliffe might be pitting. He last pitted on lap 114. It's lap 159.
Well, if he pits now, let's hope that that's not accurate, because if he was to pit, he would not make it to the end. So he would not be on a single stop strategy like everyone else we assume is. That is definitely, and he's pitting. So he has, unless there's a lot of yellow, he has 2 stops in his future.
Castroneves passes Justin Wilson, and Castroneves now is 6th. On the right is James Hinchcliffe. Kevin?
Jan was right. It was lap 114 when Hinchcliffe came in, so unless they get a yellow, he's almost certainly not going to be able to make it the rest of the way on one more stop. He does have 2 sets of stickers left. Tire wear is a concern for everybody. Will Power, a moment ago, just told you got to save your tires. Hinchcliffe in and out, but he's going to need some help to finish up front.
You hit the nail on the head there, Kevin. That transmission to Will Power, we have to go full distance. Obviously, Hinchcliffe didn't want to stop now, but the tires had gotten to the point where he was giving up so much ground. So it'd be interesting to watch both Power and Dixon, for that matter, to see if they can go as far as they need to make their strategies work.
Not a bad night for Team Penske so far. 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. With 66 laps to go.
Map 2 if you want, map 2.
Now, what would be disastrous for Hinchcliffe is if you get a yellow between now and when those guys stop.
That's Catherine Legg that Scott Dixon is passing. Top 5 with 163 complete. Dixon, Power, Briscoe, Kanan, Castro Neves.
He made history.
There's a young curly-haired kid out there going crazy on us. You know, it's a great way to win your first major.
My hat's off to you, Roy McIlroy. You did it in style, young man.
What he did to blow the field away was stunning.
But I'd rather look forward and look towards trying to win more major championships.
Rory, you better look over your shoulder. They're all shaping up, looking good, and eyeing your title.
Live from San Francisco, the U.S. Open starts Thursday at 5, Sky Sports 1. Covered and sponsored by Rolex.
See life in a better light. Outdoors or in. Transitions adaptive lenses automatically adjust to changing light outdoors, filtering the amount of light that reaches your eyes. So you see well. Live life well lit. Insist on genuine Transitions lenses.
From visionary artist Plan B.
Pure genius.
Go see it. Ill Manners. In cinemas now.
Alex Whiteman wrote on the Paddy Power Facebook wall, "Can't believe they've banned vuvuzelas from the Euros. They were a right laugh." Well, Alex, good news. We're bringing one along. Out of our way, Sergey. Let's start a rumble in the Euro jungle. Earplugs in, bets on at paddypower.com. We hear you, Alex Whiteman.
Silence the irritation with Nivea for Men Sensitive. Proud supplier to the England team.
Scott Dixon still leads in Texas, but it's the mayor of Hinchtown, James Hinchcliffe, we're keeping an eye on, in 12th, but absolutely flying. Let's go back.
Pits, he was running second, dropped only at ninth. His car was really loose. Put new tires on it and send him back out and hope for the best. Derek Walker said he's been struggling all night, but driving a hell of a race.
Indeed he has. That was a nice clean pit stop by Carpenter. 60 miles an hour is the pit road speed. And look at this. This is a battle for the lead. Power to the inside of Scott Dixon. And Power takes the lead.
Clear.
Wow, where did he come from?
I think something might be, I think it's Dixon dropping off more than it is Power coming forward. I think something is amiss with Scott Dixon.
Prior lap was 198, that lap 190.
Yeah, something has gone wrong with Dixon.
Well, it's shaping up to be virtually a flawless night.
Yeah. And second consecutive win for Mr. Dixon. And of course it also is a big points move because now Will has a 34-point advantage on Dixon. And that would appear to be going the wrong direction for Scott.
201, good job.
Dixon speeds back up. That lap was 201. So I'm wondering, I saw James Jakes right in front of him. I'm wondering if he had gotten held up for a couple laps.
I think we just asked Mike Hull if we could talk to him, and he shook his head no. He's he's busy.
I knew the answer, but I thought I'd give it the old college try.
Oh, he's in the wall.
No.
Okay, so there was something amiss.
Wow. Solid hit. He led 133 of the first 174 laps, and it comes to an end for Scott Dixon. Bit of a fire at the left rear of the car.
Taking the steering wheel off. He had gotten up into some traffic again.
And he crawls out under his own power. That's the most important thing. He led every lap at Belle Isle last week. He led 53 laps at the Indianapolis 500. Finishing second, he had led 8 laps at Brazil. See what happened.
Behind James Jakes.
Oh, big wiggle.
Yep. He was right down by the white line, but also in turbulent air.
Guys, I was just talking to Ricky Davis, his chief mechanic, and he just said, I said, Ricky, on the last stop, you guys didn't make any changes. He was happy with the car. What happened? He said, man, like everybody else, just getting loose, as the tires are wearing out. So this car, this setup window is very narrow and tough way for Scott to end.
Down really low. Looks like he might have touched the apron.
Tommy, he did touch the apron. What he was doing was trying to stay low to get air on the front wing from the car in front of him, and then to do that, he had to be right on the white line.
Pits are open, Townsend. Here comes Power, Briscoe, Kanaan, Castroneves, Wilson, Rahal. Top 6. Go to work on Will's car.
Reset your fuel. Watch Billy. You have Marco coming in your bow here. Marco's coming in. Marco's coming. Wait, go.
And the race off pit road, and it looks like Will Power just barely got out in front of his teammate Ryan Briscoe, who had the advantage of the first pit stall. So Power the leader here at this point, and we should be able to go the rest of the way.
Yeah, they're within their window, aren't they, for the last pit stop?
You can get to the end now on fuel, but we have to remind ourselves, when you see something like that happen to Scott Dixon, again, would you want to come back again for tires? Because that's the issue tonight.
Yep. All right, Scott Dixon has crashed, bringing out another caution period here at Texas Motor Speedway. He's okay. Power is the leader.
Scott Dixon just doesn't deserve that kind of luck. One young lady I know at home is watching this, Holly Weldon, Dan Weldon's sister, has tweeted us to say she'll be watching it tonight, and that will absolutely ruin her evening to see Scott in the wall there. And I've got to ask you, Thomas, first of all, these cars are incredibly changeable during the course of this night. I mean, we've had the DW12 has been a great car this year so far. It's given us great racing on streets. It's given us great racing at IMS. It looks like a great car, but here at Texas, it looks like a nightmare.
No, I mean, I think it's just the drivers getting used to this new aero package, whereas before it was, a lot easier to go flat out. There's a lot more pack racing, where drivers have, their times from beginning to the end are dropping off a huge amount. And also with the weather, when it's cooling off at night, it tends to get a little bit more oversteer.
Did look then, Johnny, like Dixie had just dropped his front wheel on the white line. I mean, it's difficult to say from as far away the camera angle as we are, but
yeah, he's obviously following the car in front there and trying to get at least half of the car in the airflow to try and get some amount of downforce on it, and I do think he just dipped a little bit too low, but it's very surprising. He's looked absolutely rock solid all night, and just in a period of a few laps, obviously started to get loose, lost confidence in it, and then when he lost the lead, he wanted to try and keep up.
There was a shot from the car behind him in a moment. This one, you look how quick it goes.
Yeah, that's the thing. As soon as the airflow gets disrupted, you just lose all the downforce, and it only takes the car to be fractionally out of shape, and the airflow is taken away, and yeah, he just loses the rear end.
Something I've got to ask you, Thomas, is whether drivers will like this variation in their cars throughout a race. I mean, tactically, it's obviously something for the guy on the top of the pit wall to work out, but I mean, are drivers going to enjoy this kind of race?
I think some will and some won't. I mean, obviously, I think the drivers that will are the ones in the front, but I think it's just something that they have to get used to. Obviously, they made the rule changes for the safety, and, the pack racing we're not seeing, and that's a positive thing.
Wrestling's most prestigious event, the Tour de France, begins Saturday, June 30th on the NBC Sports Network. saw Dario Franchitti and James Jakes make pit stops, and we're under caution because of Dixon's accident. Robin?
Scotty, hell of a job all night. You're coasting along. What happened?
We just got loose. You know, we had been getting loose at the end of stints, and I think, you know, for the last 10 laps of our stint, I just was really fighting to hold on. And that time there, I kind of got into the middle of a few people that were trying to get back up to power there. And just got in, turned in, the rear just started to slide, and then it kind of dipped down onto the apron and then shot around again. So, you know, I feel bad for the guys. We had a really good car. I think we had a good chance to win here tonight. We led a lot of laps, but I guess it wasn't the way it was meant to be.
Was the key keeping the tires under you, like we thought it was for the race?
Yeah, it's definitely, the balance is changing a lot when you got new tires. You know, you got quite a bit of understeer, and then for me at least, it was going to pretty big snaps. You know, off of 2 and then also going into 3. So. Just gutted, man. Gutted for everybody.
You were long gone, but you didn't see behind you. There was a lot of pretty good racing behind you. Were you happy with the changes and racing this car?
I am, because, you know, you really have to drive the car. It's really tough to wheel the car around here. And, you know, for maybe the first 5 or 10 laps, you know, when you're out front and in clean air, the tires are pretty good. They hang on really well. And then, you know, you really have to start driving. You have to start moving the weight. You have to start using, you know, your roll bars. So I think it's a good way of racing. You know, obviously we didn't have a good result tonight, but I think it's a much better way to race.
Thanks. Scotty, Townsend Bell.
Yeah, Robin here with Kevin Kalkoven. Historically not the biggest fan of mile and a half, I don't think, but how are you feeling about these tracks tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tony is just an animal. He's driving brilliantly. We had 2 pit stops that weren't the greatest, but nothing seems to phase him. He just drives.
We got about, 46, 47 laps maybe once we go green. You think he can hang on to this thing the rest of the way?
Knowing Tony, absolutely.
Thanks, Kevin.
Kevin Kalkoven, Tony Kanaan's car owner. There is Elio Castroneves, who is currently in 4th position, but he was not a happy race driver after qualifying. And these were the emotions that he had after qualifying. He started tonight's race in 15th position, but it was obvious that he had some very serious concerns about the car. And but he's doing a great job tonight, running in 4th position. Simon Pagenaud back on the lead lap. There are 9 cars on the lead lap. Ed Carpenter is not in 10th position. 48 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Discover all your family favorites and more in high definition. Sky. Believe in better.
Most amateur golfers are unaware of the risks associated with the game. Get peace of mind that you are covered for personal injury, accidental property damage, even theft. Don't take the risk. Get Golf Care Insurance today. Plus receive 3 free rounds of golf. Now with 30% off any policy from just $22.99 a year. They'll even cover your bar bill for a hole-in-one. Free phone or buy online for instant cover from Golf Care.
Before I joined Weight Watchers, I literally had a camera phobia. Using the Pro Points plan was very liberating, and eating well has given me loads more energy. So now I've lost weight and gained confidence. I've gone from no cameras to lights, cameras, action.
Join Weight Watchers now for free and get your first meeting free.
At Lexus, we don't stop until we create amazing. The new Lexus GS. Creating amazing.
has dropped him out of the race and is going to probably drop him in the point standings.
From the start, Rubens Barrichello, of course, did not start. And then right off the bat, we saw we were going to have tonight a big wiggle by Dario Franchitti, and then unfortunately a wiggle for one of his teammates, Charlie Kimball, that did not end well for Charlie Kimball, being a retirement. And Franchitti in so much trouble, he went down 1, then 2 laps, while Sato had this odd crash well past the exit of turn number 2. Also trouble for Ryan Hunter-Reay, an injector problem, and Oriol Servia, both Chevys, both with that type of trouble. The third Chevy in this case, Viso, running into trouble as well. And now most recently, Scott Dixon saying the car got loose later in the stint, and kablamo.
And this is Dixon's first DNF by accident since Toronto 2010. It's only his 5th DNF by accident since July of 2005. 9 cars on the lead lap. Will Power is the leader. And here we go once again. And here comes Ryan Briscoe. Whoa, Briscoe to the outside, challenging his teammate. And Tony Kanaan looks on from 3rd spot.
Tony's they touched. There was touching for sure.
Whoa.
That's why they put rear wheel guards on these cars. That would have cut a tire in the past, but that can rub and keep going.
Front wing is...
Guys, his front wing is definitely down. They got the spare getting ready to go. There was contact.
Oh, man.
That might get a review from Bo Barfield. Hard to tell from the onboards where the relative movement's coming from.
Down, Tony. Your front wing is broken. Back it down and pit.
And he does.
Here comes Castro Neves.
Wow, Tony, your front wing is broken.
That's Eric Cowden, his engineer, talking to him, telling him to back it down. They all know what happened to Conway in Indianapolis when he tried to turn into one of these corners with a broken front wing. But what I was trying to say is that wheel guard...
You need to pit this lap for a wing.
Here he comes.
Kept from cutting a rear tire on the car ahead. So yes, Tony Kanaan paid a penalty because he rammed him, but the car ahead is still running full bore.
Wow, a tough break for Kanaan, who had such a great race going.
Comes up.
I'm pretty sure that was a reactive move by Power.
Townsend. I can't argue with you, Tommy. That was reactive. TK is in pit lane for a new front wing, and if I were him, I'd be a little fired up right now. They're working on getting this thing loose. Still working it. It's off. That's actually a Barrichello front wing.
They already changed it once.
He's away.
Saw the disappointment on Kevin Kalkoven's face. Now it's Team Penske up front, running 1st and 2nd.
And 3rd.
Yeah, that's right. Castro Neves is now 3rd. Rahal 4th. Wilson 5th.
Okay, Tommy, so let's review what Bo Barfield, what he has said, is that you cannot make any sort of move that's reactive to someone who's trying to pass you from behind. You can do something proactive, but not reactive. You think that was reactive?
Well, it was, but it's hard to tell from the onboards because you don't see it. But if you pay attention to the white lines, because if they're not moving relative to each other, but if you notice, when you look at the white lines, you can definitely see that Power moved over to block.
Boy, Justin Wilson is another driver and having a great race. He's battling Rahal here for 4th.
Castro Neves going high.
Trying to pass his teammate, Ryan Briscoe.
Until that wing incident, it was 1, 2, 3, 4 for Chevrolet.
Power begins to move away a bit from Briscoe and the others.
Now we're going to have this will be a better view. There's no question about that. The plot thickens.
He chopped him. He definitely chopped him, and there was a very similar situation. That was Graham Rahal and Marco Andretti at Long Beach. Of course, completely different scenario, different speed, but in that particular case, that was called. And Graham Rahal, in fact, was on probation for that chop.
That's right, yep.
It's going to be a real test for Bo Barfield. No one likes to insert themselves into a race like this, but it's not him ruining the race. It's the move that ruins the race.
Car 12, drive-through penalty for
There you go. There it is.
Make it happen.
Barfield makes the call. A drive-through penalty for Will Power. He's going to give up the lead. Cindric doesn't like it.
Drive-through penalty, Will. We got to drive through for blocking. This is lap. Drive through this lap.
Wow. And you're going to lose a lap when this happens because you have to go for the section on pit road. You have to go 60 miles an hour. He'll go down a lap.
That gives the lead to Ryan Briscoe with Castroneves second. Here's Will with the drive-through penalty. I don't think there was much argument about that. We all agree that that was definitely a reaction.
And let's be clear, Barfield has loosened the rules on the drivers. But the one thing he says is you cannot react, that you're allowed to defend. If Power would have gone to the bottom coming off a 2, no problem. The fact that he waited to he reacted to Tony's move is what they don't allow.
Yep. You can
proactive, not reactive.
Yeah, right. Okay. You can be proactive and everything.
Graham
Rahal moves to second spot now.
Graham, who showed so much speed early, got caught a lap down.
Set him up, Graham. Set him up. Just like you've been doing.
That's Lee Orbaugh, his spotter. Whoa! And he was right up against the wall.
Okay, and this is Power just barely a lap down, trying to get his lap back.
Yeah, that's not for position. That's Will Power, and he is not on the lead lap anymore.
Maybe one at a time.
He's running 8th, as a matter of fact. 7 cars on the lead lap. Let's watch Graham Rahal close in on Ryan Briscoe.
Also, look at Justin Wilson challenging Castroneves for 3rd. Remember how strong Wilson was on that one run.
And Wilson was also good at the end of runs. We even heard some other teams say, I think it was Mike Hall who said, you know, Wilson is good at the end of runs and we're good at the beginning. This could be a very interesting finish for Wilson.
29 laps to go at Texas Motor Speedway. And Graham Rahal has taken the lead. Graham Rahal goes to the front with 29 to go.
When the 2 lead Ganassi cars falter, Chip Ganassi has another arrow in his quiver.
So you got enough time for the end of this thing.
Oh, you see how close he got to the wall.
And Lee Orbaugh reminding him, make sure you have enough tire for the end of this thing. In other words, you've got to maintain that grip for the end of the stint. Don't push too hard too soon. Here comes Wilson. Sonny's Barbecue moving forward quickly. And again, I think we can't forget about the fact how good he was at the end of a stint earlier in the run.
Hey guys, he's got Bill Pappas as Justin's engineer, one of the best guys in this paddock. And I just asked Dale Coyne, I said, any problems? He said, Justin hadn't said a word. He loves the way the car's handled.
There's Dale Coyne, car owner for Wilson and Jakes. And now Briscoe begins to come back a bit on Rahal.
Tell you what, Graham's using a lot of real estate.
I think Graham is knowing that he's got to back it down a little, the way it's drifting so high coming off those corners if he's going to have something under him at the end of the race.
Have to be real patient here. Take care of your tires. We're right there. Good job.
Wilson is coming up, though, in 3rd. On the right, you see James Hinchcliffe with Castroneves and Hildebrand and Andretti.
The 2 Andretti cars coming to the front.
Marco is 6 laps down in 17th position after the long pit stop. Graham Rahal has only won one IZOD IndyCar Series event. That was at St. Petersburg in 2008.
To go. Good job.
Hinchcliffe is the fastest car on the track that lap.
Wow, he gets high. I know he's trying to just kind of let the car take its course, but he's flirting with a lot of danger up high.
You don't don't want to bind it. Every amount of bind you put into the car is taking a little bit of rubber off the right front or the right rear, depending on which end of the car it's dancing on. Theoretically, he's not getting anywhere near the white line. Theoretically, that should be the lowest amount of strain on those tires. He's covering more distance, but not shredding as much rubber off. Looks like things have kind of stabilized. Hinchcliffe again.
Those are going to be a long 22 laps for Graham Rahal.
As if we did in another wrinkle, we're getting reports of a little bit of rain, sprinkles.
Clear by 12.
Wow, that's not predicted.
Think about our tools too. Just try to stay on top of that car. Good job.
Castro Neves up high. Howard trying to hang in there, but he's pretty far back from getting his lap back. Again, not for position.
Prior to tonight, Graham Rahal has only led one lap this year. That was at Barber Motorsports Park. It's the 11th race that he's led in his career.
You heard him say 20 laps to go. No pit stops for fuel, that is.
We are commercial free to the end of the race.
Hey, Bob, I'm just watching Graham. I'm down here in his pits, and it's quiet, and they're studying the data. I'm watching that radius grow every lap in that corner. In the middle of the corner, he's like 3 rows up now. He's just trying to nurse those tires by driving the biggest radius he can.
Wow. Especially in 1 and 2, running a little bit lower line in 3 and 4.
Here's Hildebrand and Castro Neves.
That's for position.
5th.
What an interesting race.
And a great race for J.R. Hildebrand.
This is definitely a race of perseverance.
And we've been on board with Hildebrand a number of times, and he has been turning right more than he wants to.
He just lifted big time there, too.
Remember, he started 23rd in this race. Rahal. Here's Pagenaud and Elio trading positions. Pagenaud moves to 6th. Elio back to 7th now. He is the last car on the lead lap.
16 laps to go. 16 to go.
Rob Edwards on the radio to Simon Pagenaud.
Elio has lost the handle down in the 195 mile an hour range, while Graham Rahal running 206 up front.
Pagenaud at one time was a lap down, had the drive-through penalty for hitting a tire, but has come back to be on the lead lap and in 6th spot.
I'd like to remind you guys that I gave Simon his tutorial on Texas Motor Speedway a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah? Good for you.
Heck of a job. 2nd oval. I mean, this guy's been learning really fast. He's a smart dude, and he's got a chance to be right in the top 3.
Yep.
Lap traffic.
You're clear.
That's Catherine Legg. She is in 15th position, 4 laps down, but has hung in there all race long.
Hey, Bobby, her dad and Derek Legg just told me the weight jacker's been broken since lap 1, so she's probably hanging on.
Yep. Her big-time career actually started here at Texas Motor Speedway when she was invited to participate in what is now the Firestone Indy Light Series. Here's a battle for 2nd position. Wilson to the inside of Briscoe. Wilson and Briscoe. Oh, Wilson forces him up a little bit. And Justin Wilson is 2nd.
All right.
Boy, both of Dale Coyne's cars are in the top 10, 2nd and 10th. Less than 12 laps to go in this one.
So for a while there, it looked like Chevrolet was going to get their revenge.
Inside, you're clear.
Now,
right there in front of you now. 11 to go.
Now it's Honda, 1-2.
Hey, you guys, when Justin Wilson ran his first oval, it was in Champ Car, Milwaukee. Champ Car had one oval race a year. He led about 8 laps, and then he ended up finishing second or third. He got out of the car and he goes, thank God we don't do this very often. Now look at him. He's an oval meister.
Throw him in a car with Sonny's barbecue on the side. He's an oval racer.
Nice and easy. You're doing great. Good job.
The advantage is 2.1 seconds that Rahal has over Wilson.
Well, I think it's worth saying that there's a big difference between oval racing when you're flat out and oval racing when you're having to work the cars in the corner. So this becomes a little more sort of road course-like when you're just not flat chat hanging on.
And Graham was one of the first yesterday after qualifying to say, I like it. I like the fact that the driver is back in control.
Yeah, don't forget, Bob, he also could have been on the pole. He had that hard limiter hit on his second lap, but he's been fast since the get-go.
In the first session, when everybody was...
When you catch Conway, we're going to go to the high side of Conway.
His spotter, again, kind of getting him tuned in ahead, planning the moves.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great.
Only one top 10 finish this year for Graham Rahal. That was at Barber. He finished 4th.
You know, one of the things the spotter's probably doing is talking to Conway's spotter, saying, hey, give us some love. We're coming. We're leading. You know, tell us where to go. You go one way, we'll go the other.
And that's why Lee was so confident, saying when we get to Conway, we're going to go on the high side, because they do exactly as you say, Townsend. They talk to each other.
He's actually easing away from Wilson a little bit.
Yeah, the interval has grown to almost 6 seconds. Now it's 8.
He's got 2.4. I mean, the monitor's playing tricks on us here.
Yeah, 2.4. Just 6 laps to go for Graham Rahal. There's his father.
His father, of course, owns Takuma Sato's car. Right now,
you're clear.
Now that Sato's out, he's not a team owner. He's a father watching his son trying to win his first race since his very first race in the league at St. Petersburg.
Elio Castroneves a lap down now in 7th. You saw Graham pass him. Elio running a really, really high line all the way around the racetrack now.
Gap now 1.7.
Traffic cost him a little bit of his lead.
Yeah, Wilson was kept his momentum, so Wilson now 1.6. Wilson's closing in.
4 laps to go.
1.5. Look how much lower he's running through 1 and 2. Here comes Wilson.
Guys, Graham's last lap was 200 to a 203 with Wilson. He is closing quick.
1.4 seconds separate now. 1.3 separate first and second. Graham Rahal may be on his way to his second victory in the Izod IndyCar Series. But Justin Wilson...
Whoa! He hit the wall! He hit the wall. Unbelievable!
Oh, no!
Keep it going there. Keep going, Graham. Nice save.
They want him to keep going. Normally, if you have contact,
he's got damage.
No way.
They go yellow. But Wilson's got to get past him before they go yellow. He's got to pass him in case they go yellow.
Justin Wilson takes the inside and passes Rahal for the lead with less than 2 laps to go. Rahal bumped the wall coming out of 4. And Justin Wilson will take the white flag. 1 more lap to go. Unbelievable that Justin Wilson is on his way to victory.
Okay, mate. 2 more turns.
What a turn of events for Graham Rahal, but what a gift for Justin Wilson, who hasn't won since 2009. And here's the checkered flag, and Justin Wilson wins at Texas. Rahal finishes second. Briscoe is third. Then Hinchcliffe, Hildebrand, and Pagano.
Hey, now you need to find your way to victory lane, buddy. Find your way to victory lane.
Oh my goodness.
Was that ever shades of Indianapolis a year ago?
Yep, with J.R. Hildebrand. Well, it's Justin Wilson's 7th career win, his first ever on an oval. That was 44 races ago at Watkins Glen.
It was a hell of a job by all of you.
Hey, Bobby?
Yeah?
I'm with Dale Coyne. Now, you put the old band back together because Justin won your very first race at Watkins Glen with Bill Pappas. What do you say?
Justin's not supposed to be an oval guy. He's doing pretty damn good. No, it's great. You know, we had that in us 2 weeks ago in Indy, and it just didn't play out right, but it played out right tonight.
You know, I think Bill Pappas is one of those guys that people always know in the paddock. He's one of the best guys to have, and Justin's so calm. But this was a driver's track tonight, and that's what those guys wanted.
Yeah, I mean, just putting everything together, it's been good. You know, Justin and I, we lost 2 years by being apart, but putting it back together this is what we get.
Does he get a discount to Sonny's Barbecue now?
Yeah, well, there's no Sonny's in Texas, but we're going to have to start building some here.
All right, congratulations, Dale. Back to you, Bobby.
My goodness, what a race.
Good job, buddy. Turn right. Go to your right.
Justin Wilson started 17th. He led only 11 laps, but he led the most important one, and it's a heartbreak for Graham Rahal.
Your heart has to go out to Graham Rahal. He was running high where he had to. Fortunate to hang on for second after clouting the wall like that.
Yeah, he was.
Well, that car is strong because he definitely got into that.
Hey, Graham, I know you're fired up, buddy. It's a heck of a way to end. You dominated there at the end. What happened?
I just messed up, honestly. There's not much else to say. I just got a little... I didn't expect it, honestly. I went through that. I had the same amount of push that I had every other lap, and I just thought, okay, you know, just chase it through the corner. We're coming to the white flag or whatever.
So was it understeer that got you up into the fence?
Yeah, it just washed out a little bit, and it's my fault. I mean, there's not much else I can say, and you know, certainly really disappointed because obviously, you know, we had that one, and we worked really hard those last 50 laps to put ourselves in that position. Particularly after the first couple stints, the car was so loose, and I had several big moments, but this one could haunt me forever, that's for sure.
Best finish of the year, but not a happy Graham. Robin?
Ryan Briscoe, I just said, did you have any fun? He just kind of looked at me like, really?
I tell you what, I can't complain. I mean, all the drivers put their heads together at this race and said, we're going to run with less downforce, and we knew it was going to be hard, you know, so I thought it was a good result. It spread the field out. You really need to have a good handling car. And unfortunately, I had the track position at the end and just didn't have a good enough car. So congrats to Wilson, I guess. Did he win? Wow. Bad luck to Graham for having that tyre going down. But, you know, I had a good race, a bad pit stop, and then the last two stints, I just had the tyres in the back go off so badly. And I tell you what, being loose around this track is not fun. And I spent the last 100 laps loose around here, so I'll take a third place.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Bobby?
Yeah, Briscoe was third, Hinchcliffe fourth, and Hildebrand was fifth. There is Kanaan talking to Will Power as Will got out of the car. He, of course, was penalized for blocking Kanaan. At that time, Will appeared to be on his way to victory. And Kanaan and Power talk it over.
Get post-race reaction from this event, the Firestone 550. Michael Young? Yeah, we got James Hinchcliffe with us, the fourth place finish.
Wow, Kevin, let's go to victory lane and celebrate with Justin.
Justin Wilson has just been congratulated by his team owner, Dale Coyne. Their second win together. His best run in this league on an oval. He did finish second at Milwaukee in 2006. He'll get the Firestone hat. And the lanky British driver will climb out of the car. All 6'5" of him will uncurl, and he'll stand up and celebrate here at Texas Motor Speedway. An unbelievable win considering the circumstances with Graham Rahal seemingly in charge. He's going to go over and greet Bill Pappas. That's his engineer, the other big guy that we can see there. and a big hug with the rest of the crew. And Justin Wilson is a winner once again. That's his brother Stefan back there a little bit, and he wants to say hello to everybody and thank this team as they have been, as Robin mentioned, reunited. Dale Coyne got the band all back together again. Justin, come over here. Come over here. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it's just fantastic. You know, I just got to thank Bill and everyone who works at Dale Coyne Racing. They've worked so hard, some long hours trying to get ready. You know, Dale has put so much into getting us competitive, and I just can't believe we managed to pull this off. You know, the car was fantastic, and on the long runs, it just got better and better as I saw people sliding around and knew I just had to keep hitting my marks.
Did you see Graham situation developing? Did you see him slap the wall?
I saw him sliding more and more every lap, and I didn't think there was much chance, but then when I saw him hit the wall, I thought, okay, you know, it's time to go. It was four-wheel drifting all the way into 3, all the way out of 4. I mean, you were having to hang on out there.
You've been on the brink. You had a great run running in the top 3 or 4 in Indianapolis. Has this been coming?
Yeah, this was fantastic. You know, after Indy, I thought we were pretty strong there, but we just, you know, the car was better on long runs, and again tonight we're better on those long runs. So it was great. It was green all the way to the end.
How was the racing tonight?
I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, the cars weren't stuck, but you had to manage the tires and the grip, and you know, I had a blast out there.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's going to be a popular win. Justin Wilson.
Absolutely fantastic result. Justin Wilson. Thomas, very quickly, great drive. He just waited for the moment.
Absolutely, and like he said, his car was good in that last part of the stint, but very popular win, very happy. I was his teammate in Indy, and definitely down the whole of pit lane, a very popular win.
Johnny will be looking forward to many, many more, but for now, of course, we're about done. Congratulations to both of you. Thank you very much for joining us. Good luck in Le Mans next week for you, of course, Johnny. But that's it for this week. We're back in just 6 days' time. The teams move on to the famous Milwaukee Mile for another oval race next Saturday. It's the Milwaukee Indy Fest starting at 6 p.m. on Sky Sports 3 HD. Congratulations to Justin Wilson. Thanks to my guests Thomas and Johnny, and from all of us, thanks to you for watching. See you next weekend.
You give me something like loving, and took me in so soon. You took my feelings for nothing, came back at noon. Just maybe I'm ready to show myself to you. So if I lose my patience, you must try to understand. If I lose my patience, oh yeah, 'cause you make me feel, 'cause you make me feel wild. You touch my inner smile. You got me in
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.